Hello, hello. We're live. Welcome to the Kratom Gals. Uh-oh. I
That's
hear
me.
that. That's okay. That's what's great about live streams. It is live in the moment. Get ready to laugh, learn, and maybe even get a little heated because we're going to react to trending topics. We're going to debunk myths and share our collective experience as responsible whole leaf Kratom consumers. But please note, this live stream is presented solely for educational purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician or other medical professional. I almost have this memorized. I'm so close. I feel it. After almost a year, our community comes together to share our knowledge, stories, and experiences. And hey, if you'd like to support our efforts, be sure to go to kratomstoriespodcast.com/donate. It's an easy way to support all the efforts we're doing here. Let's go around the room here. We'll take a moment to have everybody introduce themselves. I'm Madeline Sklar. You may know me as the host of the Kratom Stories Podcast. It comes out every Friday. We always have new episodes each week. That's coming up on 1 year as well. I started that December 1st. So we're almost at the 1 year mark. And the Kratom Real Talk community, which is also coming up on 1 year, I started that towards the end of December last year. And I also put together the Kratom Gals. It's been so much fun. That's coming up on the 1 year. Crazy how all this stuff is like we're coming up at 1 year anniversary. Like it doesn't even seem like it. I mean, it seems like we've been doing it a long time, but also it feels like we haven't been doing it that long. It's so cool.
I've enjoyed it. Just yesterday. Yeah.
It's just been a lot of fun. And thank you all for who come here, who support us each week, whether you're here live or watching the replay. We appreciate you so much. So let's go around the room. Misty, why don't you go next?
My name is Misty Brown. I'm a loud and proud over 5-year Kratom consumer / advocate / activist. It saved my life from 11 years of active addiction. Now it saves my life from chronic pain, anxiety, and depression.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat there for a moment. My name is Jennifer Gillis, also known as Winifred Jenkins. I am a 5-year Kratom consumer and advocate. I take Kratom for chronic pain. It's changed my life for the better, and I'm thankful for it every single day. So I'm glad that Madeline gave birth to the Kratom Gals so we could come together every week and just hang out as a community and go over all the misinformation as well as also some good stuff and have some laughs, have some fun. Glad to be here. Yeah. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Yeah. And I'm Venus Usher from Delaware, and I found Kratom almost 8 years ago. And it's the first thing that I had found that would actually help my interstitial cystitis, my abdominal adhesions, my kidney stones, and my fibro pain. So now I just want everybody to feel that freedom. And then when you find that freedom and then you open your eyes again to the outside world and you see everything clear, it's like getting new glasses again, and then you see that, because for me, I was sick for 17 years and things get run down and you don't see that when you're on the medications and stuff like that. So the community helps you get back up on your feet once you get to that point. So thank you, Madeline. Thank you.
That's awesome. I just appreciate y'all doing this with me each week. It was just a big experiment in the beginning. Didn't know if people would want to, if they want to come and join us, but we were all individually watching all kinds of videos on our own about Kratom. And it's like, hey, why don't we just do it as a group? It'll be a lot more fun. And especially when we have people here live in the comments talking with us, like I'm going to go through the comments right now. Hello to Jenny. Thank you so much for being here. And Kratom Mom, I'm a pip.
Hey, Mom.
Venus's mom. It's great seeing you. Somebody is here as Facebook. We don't know which Facebook user.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't.
Hello, gals. Happy Saturday. So whoever said that in Facebook, it's not letting us know who.
I bet you were having issues with StreamYard today.
So, and say no to 7-0. So somebody knows us well. That's in the comments there.
I think I know who it is. I'll find out.
Oh, wait, it's Dre. Hey, Dre.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and hey, Kathy. Kathy's here.
Angela's here.
Hey, Angela.
Hey.
Great to see you.
It's so nice to have everybody here.
And Kaylee says, I've been using Kratom for 3 years now, and I'm at 30 grams a day, and I only do it 3 times a day. Is that a lot, 30 grams? It's subjective.
You can answer that.
Yeah, subjective, because everybody's different. I take a total of 20 grams a day. I do about 5-ish grams 4 times a day, so that's 20. For some people, they take way less. Some people take more. It really Also a bit like, why are you taking it? Like I use it for chronic pain. I'm not taking it just to take it or just for mood boost I'm specifically doing it so I don't suffer in pain. But let us know like what you're using it for and just give us a little more information. Hello to our Facebook users. We don't know who you are in here, but we see you. So
That's Kathy, apparently. Hey, Kathy. The one that just did the emojis. Why in the world does StreamYard suck sometimes?
well, you have to, it should be letting y'all know in Facebook, you have to put streamyard.com/something. I can't think of what it is. And then because it's like a privacy thing, usually it's with Facebook groups, but we can't live stream in Facebook groups using StreamYard. So I'm not sure why we do it on a Facebook page, unless maybe one of y'all needed to authenticate your Facebook. Do y'all remember seeing something in StreamYard?
I did yesterday.
I did.
I did earlier in the week. So
I haven't.
Whose Facebook page is it doing it on? Who's doing the comments?
It looks like it's doing it on
I just can't
Misty's.
remember. It's on Misty's. I just can't remember what it is. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's a StreamYard link, but I don't remember what it is.
It shows her name in my comments.
Yeah, it does on Facebook.
Yeah, it'll do it in Facebook. It's a StreamYard thing. It's a StreamYard. And yeah, one of them is Kratom Friend. I knew one of those had to be Craig. I can't think, I'll figure it out. I just can't I can multitask, but that's a little too much. I'm trying to do other things, but
I'll make sure I'll pay attention.
There's a link, but it should alert y'all that are in Facebook where that's happening. You have to go to StreamYard. I know it's StreamYard.com/something. I just can't think of what that .something is /something. Anyway, we got lots to watch. I'll figure it out. Unless somebody wants to go Google it and figure out and then let us know.
I'm still sharing.
I know. You're busy doing your thing. It's all good. All right. So thank you all so much for being here. We're going to kick it off with a couple of snippets from the latest Kratom Stories podcast episode. I keep hesitating. Like, I feel like, can I say Kratom out loud here? I'm so conditioned on Fridays and TikTok Live to not say Kratom out loud, even though I did say it right when I got on yesterday when it was just me and Misty before the rest of y'all came on. I just blurted it right out. Kratom.
It's so hard to not say it.
It is. It is. It's incredibly frustrating. And for those that are newer in the Kratom community that want to advocate, just know that every social media platform is different. Like right now on Facebook, you can't utilize the search with the word Kratom. And there are vendors that are losing their Facebook pages, which is ridiculous. As far as I know, Kratom Stories Podcast Facebook page is still there. You can't search for it. But if you go to facebook.com/Kratom Stories Podcast, you'll get to it. And then on TikTok, you can't spell Kratom the normal way. That's why we always do KR8TOM. When we're doing a TikTok video, regular recorded video, you can say Kratom out loud. But when you do a TikTok live, you can't say Kratom out loud. It makes no sense. But it's learning like the do's and don'ts, and they're all different. And Twitter, X, you can say and do whatever you want. You don't get in trouble there. So it's frustrating. Angel saying, what is the link for Facebook? I usually get it in Misty's feeds. Which link for which thing? Misty, are people having trouble getting to your Facebook group since all of this happened?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, are people able to get into your Facebook group, or are they not able to find
those
that rely on the search?
Oh, I have my group on private, so you can't even search for it.
Oh, gotcha. Angel says it was like your third word yesterday, Madeline. Yesterday, my third word is it. If you're trying to get to the Kratom Stories Podcast Facebook, what you want to type in, you can go to Facebook, right? And when you're but on a browser, Facebook. I don't know if this will work on mobile, but on a browser, it's facebook.com/Kratom Stories Podcast. If you type that in on a browser, it'll take you to my Facebook page. It's incredibly frustrating, but it is what it is. It's all we can do. Yeah, for this feed, well, right now we're broadcasting live on all of our Facebook pages and all of our YouTubes. So Angela, are you on my Facebook? Is that where you're watching this?
No, she's on YouTube.
Oh, she's
Angela,
on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I just tagged you on in Misty's Facebook one. See, it even shows up as Facebook user on me. There's a reason.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a reason there's no American spice or bath salts associated. Kratom is nowhere near that insanity.
Right.
Yeah, we know it. We know it. And the thing is, what's so crazy about that is in San Diego, they banned Kratom years ago because in the smoke shops, it was sitting next to spice and all in the K2 and all that, right? And so it gets lumped together with all of those synthetics. And it's ridiculous. And I know somebody that was just in San Diego and she was like, a little nervous being here. So, yeah.
When nobody does their research, they just listen to whatever somebody tells them.
Yeah. Well, let's catch some snippets from this week's Kratom Stories podcast. I interviewed Kassie. She's new in the community. I'm not sure if she's here. I haven't seen her in the comments. But if she's not here live, she usually watches the replay. So her story is so good. Have y'all had a chance to listen to it?
I did, yes.
I
It was
did
a good-
too.
Really good.
I
Really good story. Wow. I was just with some of these stories of going through, years of addiction and then recovery. And what's so crazy is how she first hears about Kratom from a friend from back in the recovery, like, when she was, met through recovery, but apparently it sounded like he was abusing Kratom. So she only heard the negative talk about it. So she immediately was like, well, I'm in recovery now. Why would I go do that? Everybody was demonizing it. But then this year, she rediscovered it, did a bunch of research. Very impressed with her because she did everything right. So I'm gonna play a couple of snippets. I've got 4 different short snippets to play. So yeah, let's watch this together.
I feel like I'm happy. Like, even with everything going on or stresses that you have in your life or whatever, I'm just like, it's just like positive thinking all the time and just feel good energy. And I love it.
That's what I like to say is that it's like clear, clean, focused energy.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So let me cue
But
it.
no, I haven't listened to it yet. I will, though.
It's really such an interesting story she has. I'm going to play a few more smaller clips so y'all can get an idea. So let me play the next one.
Next morning, I take a capsule and I feel it, a little bit though. I was like, let me take one more. This is like an hour, 2 hours later. And then later on that day, I think I took 2. Anyway, I felt it enough to know that it felt amazing and I wanted to keep researching, blah, blah, blah. A week and a half goes by. Come to find out, I'm taking extracts.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's stupid. And this is why I wanted to show you the bag because, like, that shows you right there. And it might be an addict thing, but I don't read packages. I'm just like, okay, this is green. It's going to do this for me. It's a small, little thing. Let me try it out. That's all I cared about. So it was a bunch of small.
Yeah, so she goes to the smoke shop. She did a bunch of research. She's like, okay, I'm going to give this a try to help. And she goes to the smoke shop. And they said, here, you want this? There's a small package of capsules. Get this. She did not realize for a week and a half that they were extract capsules, extract powder. And because when she was talking about, I took 1 capsule, then I took 2. And I was like, I'm like, wow, that's all you needed.
Right.
But when
Yeah.
you find out it's extract capsules, like, yeah, you don't want to take too much. And she was, those first few times, she was throwing up. She mentions it briefly in the episode too, that she was like driving to work and like throws up.
Yeah, a few mornings she said she did that.
It didn't deter her. And she said it wasn't that big a deal. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, thank God. Because when it's the big deal, exorcist style puking, usually people don't go back, right?
Yeah.
So, okay,
But I totally understand when she says that when you're an addict, you don't read packaging. You don't. You're just so quick to pop whatever's
Start
in front of
popping the
you.
bells. Yeah. Start throwing them back.
Exactly. All right, here's the next clip. Good. It's
When I
interesting.
found out about this, I was like, oh my gosh, Madeline and all of them are talking about these extracts. And I'm noticing that what I've been taking says that on there. So anyway, so what I did immediately was went back to the smoke shop and got, just for something like right now, the Earth Kratom.
Uh-huh. That's a
And
common one in smoke shops.
yeah, but it was just the plain leaf. I made sure I'm like, it's not an extract, whatever. Took
Yeah.
it, didn't do anything for me, of course, because I've been taking the strong stuff. So
Yeah. So she had to kind of like figure out like, okay, I've been taking I mean, the good thing is she wasn't doing this long term yet. She was still very new, but she was listening
Yeah.
to our Kratom Gals and the podcast and things. So she hear us talking about extracts and hears us talking about 7-OH tablets and all like the things you need to be careful about. So she's like, wow, like, I got to figure out like, okay, I should taper myself down off of this and just be using the plain whole leaf powder, which is just great that she kind of like figured it out.
I love the fact
Yeah.
that her mindset was there, that she caught herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because her story could be totally different. She could
Yep.
be abusing the extracts right now. And then she'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
on that whole quitting Kratom bullshit forums talking about,
Mhm.
Kratom is the devil.
Yep.
Yep.
And when I think back to when I interviewed Mike Ouachita for the podcast, and that's exactly what happened. He
Yep.
goes from abusing opioids, heroin, he was doing it all, to discovering Kratom, and he gets hooked on the extracts for years. And then he learned about, okay, the whole leaf powder. He worked with Jordan at New Hope Botanicals and tapered himself down to be just using the powder. So he's a huge advocate for people in recovery to like, be really careful with what you're doing. Cause he just basically traded one addiction in for another for a period of time without even really
He
realizing it.
transferred addictions is what he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And
So-
like I said, I love that Kassie caught herself.
I love it too. And that was before she even connected with any of us. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, that I'm just so happy for her. I'm gonna play one more, just a super short clip. I know there's a lot of comments. I'll get to them in a moment here. So it's a lot of multitasking today. All right, let's listen to this last part.
my anxiety and my depression. I mean, granted, I've been on medications for it as well, and I still am, but I'm actually, and I probably shouldn't do this. Please don't do this unless you talk to your doctor first. But I have not taken my medicine every other day because the Kratom works so good. But I have an appointment with my doctor to talk to her about it.
I love that. So
Yeah.
she's taking medications for her mental well-being, and she's like doesn't feel like she's being smart. She's like, I didn't just like stop them. I mean, I know people who have.
Me
You
too.
got to do you. But she's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't feel like I need to take them all the time. And
You know-
let me talk to my doctor about it.
Yeah. And
I love
the thing is that doctors love to stack antidepressants on top
Yes.
of each other.
Yes,
Yes.
they do. Yes,
It's
they
like, oh,
do.
this isn't working. Let me give you another one
Yeah.
on top of that one. Because
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
Thank you, Cam, for the
Hey,
anniversary
Cam.
wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Angela says that both of her kids, they're in their 40s, think it's like another drug. You need to educate them on it.
Educate them.
Have them go to kratomanswers.org. Whenever you have anybody in your life that is just not understanding, or you're speaking to somebody in the medical profession, send them to kratomanswers.org because that has like all the science
It does.
information.
Or
And that-
have them watch A Leaf of Faith.
Yeah.
Yes, watch A Leaf of Faith. Mm-hmm.
And just your actions, just you being able to function and be part
That's
of their
my
lives
biggest
to show
thing,
them.
yeah. I mean, that's my biggest thing. I hear about that a lot, like people's families. I'm like, do they not see how like productive you are? Do they not see
Yeah.
how
Right.
your daily
Right.
life is improved? Like, I mean, my husband sees it every day.
My
I'm like
kids
able
as
to go to the
well.
grocery store and do stuff for the kids and clean the house without,
If my
I just-
kids thought that Kratom was another drug, I would be banished from them. They would
Yeah.
have moved out a long time ago. They
Yep.
see me flourish and thriving and surviving. And like I always say, I pay taxes again now.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like it bothers me when the most important people around you are not supportive over something that's helping you every day. It just bothers
Yes.
me.
Uh-huh.
Like if you if you come from active addiction like I did, and you haven't one-upped your behaviors, and you're still stuck in that, I'm chasing something mode, then then your family probably does think that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Angela, that they're not
Yeah.
interested.
I mean, I hate to say
I'm
it, but
glad that you
I'm
tried.
telling you right now, I wouldn't. I mean, I love my kids and everything, but it's like at some point, like if they gave me beef about it and stuff and they're grown, I mean,
Walk away.
maybe, walk away.
Hmm.
And maybe they'll see in time that
Yeah.
they're wrong. You
Yeah.
can't
Because of Kratom, you can walk away. You know.
Right.
Yes.
That's John. Hey, John from Illinois.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
I'm trying to find that link so y'all can those that
I-
where it says Kratom user. Let me see. I think I
It
I
says you
found
have
I
to
found it.
go-
Okay. So for those of y'all that are showing up as Facebook user like this, all you
Oh, I see
all
what
you
you're
need to do is go on your phone or you need to be on a browser wherever you're at, phone or computer. Go to streamyard.com/Facebook. I can't believe I couldn't think of what it was.
saying.
StreamYard.stream, StreamYard, StreamYard.com/Facebook. And the thing's going to pop up. It's a privacy thing. And I don't know why he's doing it on a Facebook page. This was normally a Facebook group thing.
Yeah,
But
it's not they're not commenting from my group, so
it's weird. So, but you'll see a blue button. Let StreamYard see your Facebook live comments. Then we'll see who you are. It's a Facebook
Oh, I
thing.
see it here.
It's a
Hold on.
Facebook thing. It's, I haven't seen this happen in a long time. So I don't know why it's doing it.
All right,
It could
hold on.
be it could
Let
be
me
a
see if it
StreamYard thing.
works. I put grant permission. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Testing.
Well, it's for the person that's having it. Wouldn't be for you.
Well, it was doing it to me though.
Oh, it was?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
That's what I thought you were doing. And then when Jen was doing it, I was like, oh my God, are we supposed to be doing it too?
Yeah, it was doing it on mine.
Huh.
I don't know. It just keeps on sending me through a loop. Maybe it's because I'm on the.
on the live already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
my other computer is acting up. So it's trying to, I'm having issues with the comments at the moment.
USS Madeline.
My one computer is just not happy right now. So if the comments are acting weird, like, why is she leaving that comment up so long? That was my computer taking over and wouldn't let me adjust. Okay, y'all let me know if y'all want to do this. I was going to play some more snippets from our very first episode because it was so much fun doing that last week. But then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't and just save it for our anniversary, next month. But I could play them now and then we could still watch them again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I figure y'all wouldn't mind because I went through it and it's kind of funny looking at how we first, we played the little snippet last week. So if you weren't here last week, I played a little snippet of our intro because it was our very first time doing this. And even though I have a long history of live streaming, this was still a whole new show and we're still trying to figure out what do we want to do? How do we want to do it? And I'm the kind where it's just, let's just do it and figure it out as we go. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this today. It's a strategy. It's a thing I learned in a book 20 years ago. Jack Canfield, who's the guy behind those Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and he was in that film, The Secret, way back in like 2006. He wrote a book that came out in 2005 called The Success Principles, How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. And the thing, it was this real thick book. It took me like a year because I like audiobooks, but there was not an audiobook version at the time. But one of the things that have stayed with me all these years, and I do this, but to like read it in print from a famous author, it was so awesome. Instead of ready, aim, fire, is ready, fire, aim. So you get your idea and you just do it. And then you figure it out as you go. Too many times we get an idea and we're like thinking about it, should I do it? Should I do it? And then you don't do it. So
That sounds like starting Kratom.
yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, because a lot of it you do figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
But I just let's just do the live stream. We didn't really, our very first one, we didn't even play a video till the end. We remember y'all had me read that article. It was that Tampa Bay Times article.
Yeah.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading the whole thing, but the print's small on the screen. If somebody was watching on their phone, they probably couldn't even see it. But, it just goes back to, ready, fire, aim. Let's just do it. We'll figure it out. And we did figure it out. I think we have a really good format, but I'll play some more clips because it was fun when we watched it last week with the intro. But instead of the intro, I'm going to
I think something's wrong with StreamYard, honestly, because I tried it on my Jennifer Gillis
It could be
thingy,
a StreamYard
and it
thing.
just keeps on looping back to grant permissions. Last time you
Really?
logged, yeah, and it just keeps on going. So I think it's just
Okay, so
genuinely
it's a
something
StreamYard
wrong.
thing. Because some of the Facebook one, is it? Oh, maybe all the Facebooks are
No,
doing.
the YouTube
No,
ones are
I can
working,
see
but
Venus. Venus is fine on Facebook.
is she?
And, yeah, and Kratom Miracles. So what Venus is doing is
Oh,
working.
yeah,
It looks
sure is.
like everybody else is that. So it could be a StreamYard thing. It could be. It might
Yeah.
be that whole authentication thing that maybe even though one of y'all did it, or who knows, might be on mine too. I know I did it this week, but look, StreamYard has not been the same since they were bought out by a company overseas, and I'm not very happy about it. All right, so I'm going to play a bunch of little short clips because it's just so much fun reminiscing back to the very first episode of the Kratom Gals. So let's watch this. Really thrilled to give this a go, and hopefully you guys like it, and maybe this will be the first of many live streams where we react to what we're looking at on the screen and what we have today. So what we did is we had this article that it was a whole big to do, right? The Tampa Bay Times. It was the first of several, and we basically spent a big chunk of time of me reading it and us talking about it. Which afterwards I'm like, I really think we ought to just play videos. So let's watch the next little bit here. Play it
Oh
real
my
quick.
goodness.
We'll wrap up with that. Do y'all want to?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
try that.
Let's do
If
that.
you guys are watching this, you know, we're just doing
We're
like a trial.
experimenting.
So meta
Yeah,
right
a
now.
trial run here.
Yeah, this
so
is
we
our
can-
very first time. We did not do a lot of preparation. We just I'm just a little type like, let's just do it. That's how
I'd
I
rather
operate.
do that too than
Just jumped
go
in.
for it.
plan it out.
Me
Nothing ever goes
too.
how you plan. That's still true to this day.
But we'd like
Well,
to,
hopefully our DC trip goes as planned.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And it
Right?
did.
right? All right, so you should see that on the screen.
Yeah.
Let me play just a little snippet, make sure y'all can hear it. You should be able to, but let me just try it real quick.
Nearly 600 Kratom-related.
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that, like our very first time doing this, I'm like, I hope y'all be able to hear this. Let me just play a little snippet of the video. Y'all let me know. Because I mean, we had not done this before and we had not played a video before. So it's like, well, I know that you can do this on StreamYard. Like this was still a whole new program. It's like, yeah, let's just make sure this works. So let me play just a little bit and then we'll go to the next one.
Yes.
Overdose deaths have occurred in Florida over the past decade. Kratom is legal and readily available and has been showing up with greater frequency in autopsy reports across
Oh, I
the state.
hate this stupid news article.
They got paid a
Tampa
lot
Bay
of money.
lies. Tampa
They
Bay
got-
lies.
Yeah.
They got paid a lot of money to do that
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
they did.
investigation.
Yes, they did. Let me get to the next part because we're not going to go through the whole thing right now. But it is fun reminiscing. And if anybody wants to go back and watch the full video, our very first one was only 34 minutes long. It wasn't a 2 or 3 hour
That's
extravaganza
wow.
like we do now. These are like extravaganzas. No, this we were short and like, what do we do? Let's read an article and watch a video. It was fun. It's fun watching this and looking back. And then we realized like, let's just play videos. But I just want to play some other parts further in. But I will have the link if somebody wants to watch it in full later on the Kratom Stories Podcast YouTube. I'll have the links to everything we watched today, and it'll be in there if anybody wants to go back and watch it. And I have it in there from last week too. All right, here's the next part.
They're saying
I
It
like
was
this.
fun.
This was an interesting way for us to like come together and like watch a video, read through an article together, and share our thoughts. So we'll keep coming up with other ideas for doing these kind of videos.
Yeah, this was like a last minute type. I know, Mike, you had messaged and said, I didn't know y'all were going live, but this was like a like a on the fly type of.
We're just
type of thing.
experimenting. Is like, who's available? Let's go. Let's just try. We weren't even sure we were going to go live.
Yeah.
We just want to see.
Yeah.
It's one big experiment. So, but it's cool that
And it worked.
through StreamYard I can easily set this up and we can do stuff like this. And it's great that y'all can
Yeah,
put it
it's
out
fun,
to
it's
your
fun.
socials. Like it's right now we're. All right, let me go to because then we just kind of like we're kind of like plotting in front of everybody, like we should try this, we should try that.
Plotting.
Figuring it
Yeah,
out.
this was fun. All right, we'll plan to do more, and we can definitely get more people. I think I can. How many people can I have in here? It's either 6 or 10. I don't remember for a live stream. So, we'll play around with the idea.
Yep, we got to do a part 2.
Yeah, especially when the part 2 of the article.
Yeah,
comes
it'll
out.
be easy now.
Yeah,
because
Now
this
that
is the
we're all
hard
set
part.
up.
Was for y'all to see like how this works, how to do it. I'm surprised anybody was live, but that Misty is because of your Facebook. That's why.
I love
That's
my
right.
two phone.
You got a great community.
Oh.
It's technically live on my Twitter and YouTube, but there's nobody watching on my Twitter, and my YouTube is fairly new, so there's really nobody over there yet. But this is fun. We'll plan some more. So y'all
Okay.
have a great rest
Y'all
of
have
your
a good
day.
weekend.
Great weekend.
Y'all
yeah.
be safe going to Washington.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll see you Tuesday, Madeline.
Yep. I look forward to it. All right. See y'all.
Okay, bye.
That was the very
Wow.
first one, and that's how we ended it. Misty and I were getting ready the following week to go to Washington, D.C. and meet in person and do all the fun stuff with the AKA and being on Capitol Hill.
And now
Hey,
a year later,
Sherry.
here we are.
Sorry, my dog's barking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we had so much fun in DC. It really was.
We sure did.
Minus the long hotel ride, but
It's all good. It's all it
It
was
was
a
my first time planning
it-
something like that.
Yeah, no, it was a great trip. We all had a great time. I'm gonna play a couple of really short ones before we get into like all the big stuff we're doing today. I just came across a video this morning. It's only 15 seconds long. It's very short. But I should read the title so it'll make sense once you see it, especially since it's short. The title says they're getting into it. I should have
I
I
just saw that.
should have a Kratom sponsor. So watch this.
Across the field where the creek turns back by the old stone road. I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows.
So I guess there's some cats that got a hold of some of the Kratom.
I don't know if that's even. I don't know.
There's a Kratom package right there.
I
Maybe
saw,
it's just because the Kratom package is there and they're
And
like
they're just
zooming
And
in.
It says we should have a Kratom. They should have a Kratom sponsor. So I don't know. It was just funny, and because it was cats, I knew y'all would like that. So
They're just bathing each other.
yeah,
Cute kitties, though.
Yeah.
very cute, very cute. But maybe the people put the Kratom package there to like, oh, let's
Try to
try
get
this.
them
Yeah,
sponsors.
yeah, yeah.
Very well.
Hint,
could've been.
hint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here's another super short one that I just came across this morning as well. That it's a podcast I've never heard of, but it's interesting. So y'all let me know if y'all have ever heard of this podcast.
You don't want to try new things that could potentially make you feel good.
Yeah, but are these really
Drink
making
up,
you feel
come on.
good, or is it?
Yes.
I feel like there's an edge that you're not supposed to go over.
The Kratom?
Yeah,
Like kind of like beer.
Well, don't, of course, you don't want to. So this is powder or like leaf. Then there's concentrated extracts. That's when like you go down a different path, which I don't recommend that.
Good comparison. I've never done those.
It's like basically
Okay.
like this is beer and that would be like liquor.
Okay, got it.
That's a good one.
That's a good
Mhm.
comparison. That's one I understand.
Those little
That's the-
glass bottles.
That's the one I can understand right there.
Those
Yeah.
little glass bottles. You got to stay away from those.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
I
once
never-
in a while, but like don't.
We celebrate.
I dropped my comment on that thread saying I don't advocate for extracts.
I've never heard of that podcast. Or
I
those
haven't.
people.
I
Me
haven't
neither.
either.
Is that the name of the podcast? Who are these guys?
Yeah, that's what it said
Okay.
on there. I'm like, okay. It looked really professional and stuff, but I liked what they said about Kratom. They were sharing information like, what we said,
Yeah.
powder versus extract. So I like that. Are y'all ready for our expose that we were hinting yesterday on
Oh my
TikTok Live?
God.
Let's do it. That everyone in the community needs to be aware of. Everybody in the community needs to see this.
Yes.
because it shows how low down some people. And what do you always say, Misty? Not all advocates are equal. Created equal.
Not all Kratom advocates are created equal. And this goes for, not all vendors are created equal as well.
Yeah,
That's right.
facts.
That's absolutely right.
And this vendor right here is really showing his ass.
Yup.
Hairy ass.
Exactly. So first I'm going to start with a
Stinky
news
too.
report.
Oh my God.
Stinking ass.
I'm going to start with the news report, the 2.5 minute news story. So watch the news story, pay attention. And then after that, I'm going to show a video that Misty, you had the 2 videos.
Mhm.
I was going to do the shorter one next and then the longer one. Do I need to play the longer one? I mean, longer one, you're mostly watching the other. So I don't.
I just figured I would go into more in-depth detail.
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
watch them both.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with first the news story. So y'all watch the news.
Yeah,
And just
yeah.
keep in mind, this was a news story put out by a news station in Rhode Island somewhere?
Yep. WPRI.
So just take all that in and then be ready for what you watch next, where a lot more comes out because of Misty being such a great investigative reporter.
It's
So
on the
good.
case.
So good at it. All right, y'all ready for this?
All right, Tony, thank you. More than a dozen people gathered to protest against the American Kratom Association Leadership Conference held in Warwick this afternoon. Kratom is an herbal substance that proponents say helps treat addiction, while some doctors believe it could be potentially dangerous.
And today, protesters demanded more regulation within the Kratom industry to ensure consumer safety. 12 News reporter Valerie Moravi was there and joins us now live with the latest. Valerie?
That's right. Although the herbal substance remains illegal in the state of Rhode Island, many regulation advocates are still fighting for consumer safety. And that's the case of David Breger of New Hampshire, who says he was stunned when an autopsy concluded that his son died from the toxic effects of kratom.
David Breger is calling for consumer protection after losing his 33-year-old son, Dan, in 2021.
My biggest thing is I want to save lives in his memory. That's what I'm doing.
He says Dan died after consuming an extract linked to kratom.
It's an extract that killed my son. It was 12 doses in a teeny little bottle that on the website didn't have dosage instructions. He just took a product that should have been regulated. And if it was regulated the way we want it regulated, he'd still be here today.
Meanwhile, vendors from across the country arrived to Rhode Island to hear a panel discussion about the science behind kratom and the concerns surrounding the product formulation. Government regulators and health professionals often oppose to use of the herbal substance, saying it can be addictive and potentially dangerous. While advocates like Mac Haddo from the American Kratom Association says it can boost your mood and mellow you out. It has also been used to help treat addiction.
20 million consumers of Kratom. Most use it as a replacement for a cup of coffee because it gives you an increased focus and it gives you increased energy. Higher doses of Kratom, serving sizes, help people with anxiety and depression.
But he says it's important to understand and educate consumers of its limitations. Haddo says the FDA should also impose regulations on Kratom.
We think that the Food and Drug Administration should properly regulate Kratom as a botanical supplement with all of the restrictions. We're willing, as a consumer advocacy organization, to go a little further. We think that the product appropriately can be placed behind the counter.
In July, Governor Dan McKees vetoed 5 bills, including measures to legalize kratom, citing concerns from multiple state agencies. For now, for more details, you can visit WPRI.com.
Dude, I just seen him chasing after Dr. Henningfield. I didn't even see that the first time. Y'all
that
get
just-
on and off, bro. I'm sorry.
Does David not realize that the company that he's working with, they have extracts? The only reason why they have dosing instructions on them now is because they have been involved in a class action lawsuit. There's multiple doses in their extracts.
Well, y'all just wait till what we show next.
Yeah.
Thanks to Misty. So y'all took in everything we just watched. Here's where the truth comes out. Some of y'all are going to be shocked at what you see.
These folks are paid actors. They got paid $200 to pretend to be protesters at the Rhode Island Kratom Vendor Summit today that the American Kratom Association hosted. The reporter is fake too. I don't trust the Global Kratom Coalition nor anyone who supports them. Watch till the end.
How are you?
Hiding their faces.
You don't want to be on camera, but you want me to be on camera?
Why don't they have anything to say?
They don't know why the fuck
Yeah,
they're there.
they have no idea what's going on. They're just there for
Right.
$200.
Right.
Which group are you from?
I'm with them.
Who's them?
I'm supporting.
Who's them? David.
Yes.
You don't know what David's last name is? David Brenner?
Yeah.
Well, at least I know who I'm with. So, okay. Well, enjoy.
This guy, David Breger, not Brennan, who sits on the advisory board at the Global Kratom Coalition. He says that Kratom killed his son back in 2021. He runs the website kratomkills.com. He has since changed the wording in his website. But if you look up his GoFundMe and read the description of his GoFundMe, it was the same as his website. But since I privately called him out in my private Facebook group, he has changed the wording on the kratomkills.com website. Why? Why on earth would a pro-Kratom organization called the Global Kratom Coalition, which is ran and funded by J.W. Ross, who is also the vendor who makes the feel-free tonics? You know, the botanic tonics? You know, the ones that are causing mass destruction out here? Why would they hire and or let somebody advocate with them, with this guy, with his history, that's saying that Kratom killed his son, mixed with diphenhydramine, you know, the active ingredient in Benadryl? I don't understand that. Y'all need to pay attention to the organizations that you support. But like I said in that video, they hired fake-ass protesters to attend the Rhode Island summit that the American Kratom Association hosted today. You would think that two pro-kratom.orgs would be on the same page, but no. This is a motherfucking cockfight. J.W. Ross and the Global Kratom Coalition wants to divide and conquer the Kratom industry and the Kratom consumers. I ain't down with that shit. And no, I am not a paid American Kratom Association advocate. Y'all know that shit. Nor am I vendor sponsored.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
All right. So I'm going to play another video that Misty made, a little bit longer, but she actually shows the proof that those were hired actors. Okay?
Yeah.
Like it's
the receipts.
Yeah. Misty brings the receipts. So y'all watch this.
You could totally tell that they have no idea why they are even there. They got paid $200 each. Here's the casting call details. $200 each for an estimated 4 hours of work, which means standing there and holding signs that they have no idea what the signs even mean. Look at this. Hired a fake reporter and fake demonstrators. Why? Why would they need to do that? Why would the Global Kratom Coalition need to do that? And that's not all. Whoever's running this news story, WPRI's YouTube channel, they are deleting our comments. I know I commented on their post last night. It's no longer there. I commented earlier today. My comment is no longer there. I emailed the news reporters. I haven't heard anything back. But is somebody paying somebody to silence us that know the truth? So before I show you the news story, let me give you a little background on this David Breger dude. He says that his son died from a Kratom overdose in 2021 in Colorado. Toxic effects of Kratom and diphenhydramine, which is the active ingredient in Benadryl. He is heavily involved in our opposition group. He has a kratomkills.com website. He has a GoFundMe where he raised $6,100 so that he could go nationwide to get Kratom put on the Schedule I drug list. Now, the Global Kratom Coalition is ran by this guy named J.W. Ross, who happens to be the owner of those little dark blue bottles, feel-free tonics. Now, why on earth would GKC, aka J.W. Ross, aka feel-free tonics, why on earth would they have an anti-Kratom person sitting on their advisory board, their advocate advisory board? Is he a planted mole? Anyways, check out the news story.
Thank you. More than a dozen people gathered to protest against the American Kratom Association Leadership Conference held in Warwick this afternoon. Kratom is an herbal substance that proponents say helps treat addiction, while some doctors believe it could be potentially dangerous.
And today, protesters demanded more regulation within the Kratom industry to ensure consumer safety. 12 News reporter Valerie Moravi was there and joins us now live with the latest. Valerie? That's right. Although the herbal substance remains illegal in the state of Rhode Island, many regulation advocates are still fighting for consumer safety. And that's the case of David Breger of New Hampshire, who says he was stunned when an autopsy concluded that his son died from the toxic effects of Kratom. David Breger is calling for consumer protection after losing his 33-year-old son, Dan, in 2021.
My biggest thing is I want to stabilize it.
You want me to forward past this part since we already
Yeah, that's
saw it?
fine.
Could you just show that? Yeah, I'll get to the parts where you're talking.
He's out here parading around that he wants regulations when that's not what his Kratom Kills website originally said. But his GoFundMe still says that he wants to go nationwide to get Kratom scheduled as a Schedule I drug. I don't understand how the Global Kratom Coalition has that dude advocating for them. And then why? Why would they need to hire fake protesters? Is GKC, aka JW Ross, aka Phil Free Tonics, upset that they weren't invited to that summit? I don't know. But like I said before, this is a .org war cockfight. Now, what I've witnessed with my own eyes is that JW Ross, aka Phil Free Tonics, aka GKC, they want to control the Kratom monopoly. And I ain't down for that shit. I am not down for that
Me
shit
either.
at all. I will stand up for what's right. Even
Right.
if that means I'm jeopardizing my social media accounts. So
Damn.
once again, WPRI, why are you deleting our comments on that YouTube video? Did GKC, aka JW Ross, aka Phil Free Tonics, or David Breger, did they slip you some money as well?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure seems that way.
It's like, of all places too, in Rhode Island. You know what I'm saying? Like in Rhode Island.
Where we've been trying for
Yeah.
the longest time to overturn that state ban. We were so close.
And that was done on purpose and for so many reasons.
To come and bring your pettiness to a state that we're trying to overturn the ban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I know I watch his GoFundMe probably be deleted, or he'll change the wording in his GoFundMe.
Yep.
You know, I know somebody has to be telling him that's within the Kratom community.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're flip-flopping back and forth from GKC to AK, I don't trust you.
No. I'm team AKA all the way. We all are.
Same.
Well, and the thing is, Misty, I commend you for figuring this all out, putting all the pieces together and sharing this with everybody on social media, because we wouldn't have known otherwise.
No.
You know, and you having the proof with that ad, and that ad is still out there. Like they didn't even take it down. Y'all, it's out there publicly still.
Yeah.
Now, I would love for the protesters that were there, the fake protesters, come and hit us up.
Yeah, tell us what that was about. How was it? What happened?
Come get on our
Y'all
live
know
stream.
what was happening? You know,
Come get on our live stream and let us know.
Yeah.
I
We
feel
wanna hear
like they
from
think
you.
they can throw money at whoever they want, and I'm sure they think, oh, David is, you know, gonna do whatever because they're paying him. But it's like,
You know,
if they
okay,
think
so
that-
let's say that, yes, David probably had a change of heart when his original mission is, yes, to go get Kratom banned nationwide. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he did have a change of heart. But why not, you know, you're out here parading that, you know, because all the signs talk about saying, you know, the 708 stuff, which we don't advocate for, period. You know, but that right there to me is your front. Because your son died in 2021. 708 wasn't even a thing then.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're
none of his signs ever say that. It always says Kratom killed.
Right, but
Yeah,
those signs were
sign.
saying 7-0.
Yeah, the other ones was.
And then people kept pointing out to me on my video that, you know, all the signs seem to be written by the same person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know they passed that shit out. They all met in the parking lot. Somebody had already made all the signs and just passed them out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep,
then people
I
are
noticed
just
that.
standing there not knowing what the hell's going on.
So, I mean, yeah, the protesters were cool to, you know, hold up the signs about saying no to 7-0. That's my tagline, by the way. So if you start using it, you know,
Yeah.
But like I said, maybe he did have a change of heart. Maybe he did. But he's involved with our Greeting Moms opposition group.
But also with an advocacy group that's trying to create a mass divide in our community.
Yeah.
And just because that dude has all that money and like, no big deal. Let's go hire actors. Let's like, put out the story we want.
So, and allegedly, our opposition group, which I don't like to name, I don't want to give them no clout, but you know who the fuck you are. So allegedly, the anti-Kratom trial attorney has given this opposition group $1 million to advocate against Kratom. Maybe that money came from Botanic Tonics.
Interesting.
But I just don't understand this. I don't, it's like I said, it's a cockfight. It really is.
Yep.
It's sickening though.
Well, it's at the expense of all of us consumers.
Exactly.
Bottom line, he's trying to mess with who we can buy Kratom from, if we can even keep buying it, because all of this could lead to it getting banned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's clear. You could clearly tell that he's throwing this temper tantrum because his specific bill didn't get passed in California.
Yep.
Right. I like this comment. We need counter protesters to answer those ads, take the $200 and crash their fake protest.
Yeah.
It already happened.
Yeah. That would have been so awesome.
Yeah. Misty, whoever this is, they love your headset and they need to know where you got it.
I got it on Amazon.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I love it too.
It lights up and everything. I don't know if you can tell. Yep, there it goes. It's like,
let me turn my light off.
Cool.
That is so
It's so cool.
That is so awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was like $30 on Amazon. My son took his headphones back, so I was like, "Oh man, I need to get some more," because my daughters didn't work when we were on live. So
yeah, they're cute.
Very
cute. I like all the lights and the colors and stuff. Very cool. Well, we're going to be watching tell me how to say the parish again in Louisiana.
Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita. We're going to watch the Ouachita Parish.
Let me go to the bathroom.
Let's do the bathroom. Yeah, me too. Let's do the bathroom break song. We'll all go take a bathroom break. We'll play we haven't actually played our bathroom break song.
I know.
So this will be fun. So yeah, this will give us just under 4 minutes. Well, for me, under 4 minutes to hurry up and get back before the video ends.
Yeah, so y'all get up and dance.
Yeah, y'all get up and dance.
Yeah.
Actually,
make your own videos and send them in to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually move it up so I can, if I don't get back in time, it'll just start the beginning of the Ouachita. No big deal. All right. But yeah, y'all jam, y'all dance if you're not going to take a restroom break, but we'll be back in a few minutes.
Sorry. Just huge packs.
It's me, it's Nick. I'm 5'5" and I think that's slick. On TikTok live, chat. I'm just trying to survive. I'm Delulu thinking I'm Tatum. Well, Mariah, where's my Kratom? Honey, I'm on. Popping wheelies and all. I told ya, it's your fault. Guy know. Yeah, come on, this ain't no Cinnabon. But I got beef and a beef. You're trying to finna beef. Mariah, where is my Kratom? This is all your fault. I blame her, no brainer. I ate centipede from a container. So I lost my apartment and it's all Jack's fault, officer. I am a TikTok influencer. Chat, I have a certificate. Let me show you it's not a fluke. That on the carpet, no, that's not puke. Chat is Bex, just a little guy, no, that's a flex. Now that's not a guy, no, that's a flex. Kratom. Guys, it's just a little bit of guy.
Just huge packs.
Guy know. I just need moderators, bro. It's guy know. Not much, just a little bit of guy know. Not much, just a little bit of guy know. And me, it's Nick. I'm 5'5" and I think that's slick. On TikTok live chat, I'm just trying to survive. I'm the Lulu thinking I'm Tato. Wait, It's Gyno. One of the leaves thinking I'm Tatum. Wait up, well, Mariah, where's my Kratom? Kratom. Wanna be your Nick, I'll be my Tatum. Wanna be your Maud, I've been really Nola. I told ya, chat, it's your fault. Gyno. Yeah, come on, this ain't no Cinnabon. But I got beef, and a beef, chat trying to fit a beef. Mariah, where is my Kratom? This is all your fault. I'm lamer, no brainer, no remark, no brainer. I'm playing, where's my Kratom? Kratom. Wanna be Maud, Papa Wheelies and Nola. I told ya, it's your fault. Gyno. Chat, come on, this ain't no Cinnabon. But I got beef, and a beef, chat try to fit a beef. Mariah, where's my Kratom? This is all your fault. I blame her, no brainer. I eat Cinnabon from a container. So I lost my apartment and it's all chat's fault. Officer, I am a TikTok influencer. Chat, I have a certificate. Let me show you it's not a fluke that on the carpet. No, that's not puke. Chat, it's packs, just a little Gyno as I flex. Not that, they're no brainer. I eat Cinnabon from a container. Kratom. I'm dropping my legs in Nola. I am a TikTok influencer. Chat, I have a certificate. Let me show you it's not a fluke. That on the carpet, no, that's not puke. Chat, it's pecs, just a little Gyno as I flex. Now that's not Gyno, that's a flex. Kratom. I'm dropping my legs in Nola. That's all flex. Kratom. I've been dropping my legs in Nola. Gyno. Guys in a TikTok influencer. And no, that's not puke.
That's my favorite part.
I
No,
never
that's
get tired
not
of that. I love that. That's such a fun video.
You know, and I also wanted to follow up because, you know, whenever I go do stuff or like when I take showers, stuff like that, thoughts come to my brain.
Yeah.
So, you know, to follow up with David Breger, you know, all those folks that donated that $6,100 are under the impression that he's going to get Kratom scheduled, you know? So you might want to do the right thing, David. If you changed your heart about getting Kratom scheduled and only want stricter regulations, which is what we want, you need to refund those folks their money back. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to watch the Ouachita Parish in Louisiana. They had the Parish Police Jury meeting this week. It was on the 4th. What day was that? It was Monday, this past Monday. And this is 34 minutes long. So we're going to play the whole thing and watch and see. I have not watched these videos yet. This is to see about potentially banning the sale of Kratom.
Get ready to get pissed.
Right. Just when we were having such a great video day here, we got played our bathroom break song. It's such a fun song. And now we're going to get bummed, but thanks for the heads up.
Best to spy.
There's John Shinholzer.
Oh, yes, there he is.
He looks nice in that suit. I like that color.
I got some stuff I'd like to hand out if I could.
Sure, you can.
Wrong place.
The audio kind of will be in and out.
I think there's several documents stacked together.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see their turn.
You're passing those out. My name is John Shinholzer. I'm the director of the American Kratom Veterans for Kratom Safe. And I'm also a person in long-term recovery from substance use disorders. I've been clean and sober over 42 years. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, got clean in the Marine Corps. And, you know, for the last 20 years, I ran a charity. Me and my wife co-founded the McShin Foundation in Richmond, Virginia. And it turned out it's a peer-run organization. It turned out to be like the national model for our nation. And, you know, over the last 20 years, we have over 11,000 alumni. And I've circumvented the nation, taught communities how to, start recovery community organizations, recovery community centers. I've spoken in jails and prisons in 46 different states. I've done some marvelous reentry work. We've passed laws in Virginia. In 2012, we were the first red state to pass the Narcan bill. We had Medicaid expanded in the red state. We had the Good Samaritan bill passed. We had the mental health addiction parity bill passed in Congress. We had the mental health and addiction inserted in the Affordable Care Act. So I'm very active, very knowledgeable on the subject of addiction and recovery. About 10 years ago, Kratom came up on our drug test. And I didn't know what it was, and these kids are taking Kratom while they're in a recovery center. And the one thing is, we didn't know they were on anything. I kept asking, why are you taking this product? He said, well, it helps me with anxiety, PTSD. It just, I don't get high on it per se. It's instead of a psychotropic, I use Kratom. Well, that wasn't good enough for me. And then I Googled it, and you go on the internet, and all you see really is what the FDA put out. And the DEA takes their lead from the FDA, and then John Hopkins or the Mayo Clinic. And so it looks really bad if you Google it. And so, I went to one of the processors, a person that actually imports it, processes, and distributes it. And we're 10 years back now. This is 10 years ago. I want to learn about it because I'm in a harm reduction. What's going to help an addict? When it comes to harm reduction, we pioneered buprenorphine, which is the active ingredient in Suboxone, in 2004 when no recovery organization wanted to touch it because they were hung up on abstinence. And so this is what I found out, that in this day and age, in 2024, we have 48 million Americans need recovery. The doctor that spoke earlier, he knows there's that many people, but they don't want to go get it because they don't want that antiquated abstinence-based system of care. And so only like 3-4 million people a year get help. So there's like 45 million people out there not getting help. So that led me into harm reduction. And harm reduction is where people with lived experience go into communities, and they talk to folks, they try to, wouldn't you like to get on medication? I can get you in an outpatient program, I can get you in sober living. Well, and then fentanyl took off, skyrocketed. So our illegal drug supply is fully contaminated. You don't know if you're going to live or die by taking a substance. Well, Kratom, and we're not, keep in mind, we're asking for regulations. We're not asking for the way it is right now. We do want regulation because if it's regulated properly, it solves most of the problems we currently have. Like the doc mentioned, these potent products on the market. And half of them he's talking about, they're not even Kratom. They're calling it Kratom, but it isn't. It's an adulterated version that we want out of the marketplace. So we're 100% behind that. And I can tell you exactly what products are what, too. We're really good at that. So here you got an opportunity for an FDA regulatory manufactured processed Kratom product that you know what you get every time you take it versus an illegal drug supply. I don't know of a parent in America who lost a child to an overdose that wouldn't rather have their child on a GMP product, a good manufacturing product, a Kratom product. So the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages of it. And the doc mentioned the Tampa Bay Times article where it was 46 deaths that they said was Kratom only. Well, after the forensic scientists redid the autopsies, they realized that 40 of them had polydrug use in them. One of them was killed in a car wreck. He wasn't even driving the car, I don't think, but they called it a Kratom death. And I point that out because there's so much bias toward Kratom from the FDA and the DEA and the Mayo Clinic, who they all take their same play from the FDA. In 2016, the FDA tried to ban Kratom, and they got the DEA involved. Well, when the DEA realized that the FDA didn't follow the 1994 DSHEA Act, Congressional Statutory Regulations for banning a substance, that they were hoodwinking the DEA into saying something was bad that wasn't bad, the DEA said, well, we're not touching this. And that irritated the FDA to this day. The FDA, if this was such a bad product, it would have been banned in 2016. We wouldn't have been having this discussion. But the science, now here's where it gets very interesting.
Mr. Shenholzer, I'm going to have to cut you off. You're at 5 minutes. I appreciate you coming. I have one question for you. and maybe you or Dr. McCormick, one can answer this. You said that Kratom showed up in a drug screen.
Right.
What did it show up as?
Kratom. We did like a.
You do a Kratom?
Yeah, it had the Kratom drug screen.
They can't detect it easily on the job.
Most drug screens, you can buy 3-panel drugs, 6-panel, 12-panel, 15-panel. We use all confirmation drug testing. We use 12-panel screens. We test for things that China brings in here, and Kratom's not a China chemical, by the way.
So the question that I asked them last week, some of the representatives, about showing up in the drug screen. It's a lot of public employees out here, and I asked them that specific question: would it show up in your drug screen? One said it does, and
if it's a Kratom drug screen, the drug screens have, you can be cheap and buy a $2 one. It only tests for opiates and pot, but you can get a $10 one and test for 20 different substances, including Kratom.
yeah, but that's a problem.
That's so stupid.
They want to make sure they can catch
Don't
that
show up.
person on taking Kratom.
That's on DLC.
They want it to show up.
So you saying it's on DOT? So my question is, what about the human being?
The human being?
Yeah, you saying that's on DOT showing it up in that system. What about the person that's taking this
I
product?
don't understand this part.
Well, different agencies use different screens, different drug tests. They may not want to test for it because they don't have a problem. It's like schools don't want to test for drugs because then they got to do it.
Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Shenholz?
And the person consuming it knows they're consuming it.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Anyone else?
It's
Is
not
there
like the
anyone else who would
fentanyl
like
that
to
you have to
speak?
test before you take it to make sure it's fentanyl. As
Step
long
to
as
this
you buy
podium
it.
and state your name and address for our record, sir. I'll give you 3 minutes.
I'm Charlie Jones. I'm with Drennan's Pharmacy here in town.
Okay.
I'm on the Louisiana Board of Pharmacy. We see lots of problems every day with this. John?
Madeline, you're on mute.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted still. So wait a minute. This dude is saying there's a problem every day with Kratom.
Every day.
Yeah.
In this parish. How big is this
Yeah.
parish? I think when we looked it up last week or the week before, it's not that big, right?
Yeah.
He owns a pharmacy.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a
So he
pharmacist.
has a vested interest in
Oh, yeah.
not being available.
Yep. Meaning he can't prescribe Suboxone or methadone.
Kratom is not going to even be a daily problem in a big city where I live.
Right.
Man, I can't. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to be pretty pissed off watching this. Okay.
Was that your name? Benefit. Tell me some benefit. Okay. Yeah.
I agree.
I agree, Heidi.
Do we have
Big time.
that we can monitor, regulate? I mean, it's common sense.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh my
I love the
God.
way he nonchalantly, and thank you for your service, all due respect. But nonchalantly can get up here and act like this is no big deal.
Because it's not.
Exactly.
Thousands, and I'm
Wow.
personally affected. I have a son who's 9 times just on Kratom in a rehab today.
He says.
Right now.
That
10, my
is
wife just said,
crazy.
sorry.
What?
So to say it has benefits, that's great. Let's rate. We have, matter of fact, I was late for the meeting because we regulate all day
He doesn't know what regulate
substances
means.
that are prescribed by doctors. And we regulate and we make sure they get what they're supposed to get and not get it early, get it when they're supposed to get it. I mean, all day. We can't even leave for lunch.
That's his main thing. Make
leave the
sure they don't
pharmacy-
get it early. Make sure they get it when we
That's
say
That's
they're
not
supposed to.
regulating. You know?
No,
Protect
no.
the public
Stupid.
from harmful medications. If we allow this to be in convenience stores, I don't know any convenience store owner who stayed there all day and oversaw every single transaction of Kratom sales today.
It's not a drug.
Is there one here that did? Like
How
to
would they
call.
buy it if somebody wasn't there to ring them
All
up,
day.
though? I mean, that's what he's doing.
Right.
Regulate the sale of
And
Kratom.
it's usually in a separate spot anyway.
I mean, it's common sense.
Oh, geez.
It's not rocket
his
science.
logic makes no sense.
No, it makes
at
no
all
sense.
whatsoever.
I got a
His
question I
sense
want
is
to
not
ask you.
common.
What did you say you do for Louisiana, the state of Louisiana?
Louisiana Board of Pharmacy.
All right. Now, Louisiana had the legislature had an opportunity to ban this. Why didn't they?
Why would anybody not do it without stating the obvious reason?
Oh, geez.
Why
just
would
talking in
anybody want
circles.
to
Mm-hmm.
allow? It's all about money. It's
Answering
all
the question
about
with an
profits.
answer, with a question.
Why is it banned, like Dr. McCormick said, in every country?
It's
that makes
not.
it?
Every country.
not.
Yeah,
Our government
they just
has
believe
tried
whatever somebody says.
at a
He's
federal
right.
level
It's
to
about
get it
money.
scheduled
It's about the
twice and
farmer money,
been
his money
beaten by
that he doesn't
lobbyists
want to
for it
lose.
because of profits.
Wow.
Truthfully, we don't want another substance to regulate.
But you want to create a
I
black
mean, we
market.
already spend
Right.
countless hours regulating substances for anxiety, depression. What were the other benefits?
It's like he's not
Pain
regulating
management.
shit. The
Tons of
FDA
it.
is.
Right.
He's just
right.
I
counting
mean,
pills and checking people out and taking
if
their
it's
money.
that
Right.
great, why
And
is it?
enjoying
Why is it?
telling them, no,
I
you
just got a
can't
text
have it right
a
now.
couple of days
You know he
ago
loves that.
of a kid dying down south. Coroner pronounced Kratom was.
He talking about the St. Tammany Parish, where
Yeah.
that coroner, that dipshit pedo ass coroner, freaking pedophile. Ugh. He even admitted that that person had opioids in their system. But
Yep.
oh my God, Kratom is to blame. I
Yeah.
didn't screen record the Dr. McCormick part because you could not hear his audio.
Yeah.
So
You could just hear a
Okay.
couple of words.
But I think you're right. He is hitting talking points, but he's not making any sense in any of them. He's just like, I got to talk about this, this, and this, and none of them make sense.
Nope.
his wife gonna get up there and testify.
It's even worse.
All right, let's keep watching.
Calls. I mean, there's multiple deaths. It's on the CBS Evening News.
Oh,
The kid died from ingesting too much of it. It's very addictive.
No, it's
Matter of
not.
fact, on this handy little guide you can get on the internet, it tells you how to treat your loved one to get them off of it.
Yeah, with
And
what you
it's
prescribe.
highly addictive. There's no doubt.
No, it's not.
And it's unregulated.
You're there to regulate it.
Somewhere that the FDA had wanted to take a stance on this, and in their want to take a stance, they pushed back on it just this year in 2024. I want to say back in August, and they could have taken a more stance on getting more study, and they halted that study. And not only, and I believe it was in August, but it was also another one last month that they were
That's 'cause
going
that
to bring it
study
up
included
again
psychedelics.
with the
Yeah,
particular study.
okay.
But they halted it, sent it back, and I believe it was University of Pennsylvania or something like that in my study of trying to look at this even more, that they
What
even
about the
are
University of
studying
Florida,
more
brother?
of benefits.
Wait till that FDA study is officially published that says that the single dose study was safe, which they did like so long ago. But
Oh, since RFK is talking about exposed and the FDA is going to drag their ass on that study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it probably be a couple
We may
years
not ever
down
see
out.
it.
yeah, but for everybody who doesn't know that's watching this, the FDA did a single dose study about a year ago.
Yep.
With real people, and there's not an unsafe dose that they found.
No.
They determined that kratom is safe. Whole leaf powder, which is what we advocate for here, is safe at all doses. And they've talked about it with the kratom community, like the AKA and other people. It just hasn't been published yet. So they're going to keep referring back. Well, the FDA says this and that, and it's all negative. it
But
would
nobody
be
brings up the ascendant dose study because it's not published.
not published.
Right.
And until
You
it's
know-
published, it's not considered real.
And the reason why the American Kratom Association knows about it was because they had a symposium that a person from the FDA showed all the study information up there on the slideshow.
Yeah.
Oh God, this dude.
All right, let's keep watching. As difficult as this is.
All right. I'm not saying that this,
I mean, I understand the benefit. LSD is currently
Oh,
being
geez. Let's compare this to
studied
LSD.
for depression. I mean, minute amounts. I mean, dangerous, toxic chemicals, hallucinogens. LSD, we all know it has a great history of killing people. And now they're trying to use it to treat depression.
I haven't heard that one before.
Where
I
does
mean,
it
the
stop?
founder of
I mean,
AA took LSD.
good government has to stop this. It's the only way it can be stopped.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
He sure
Mr.
has an
Jones.
agenda, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
He does.
We'll allow a few more.
he probably makes a.
Please state your name and address for our records.
There's the
Melanie
wife.
Jones, 150 Comanche Trail, West Monroe.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, I'm a Christian, I'm a praying mom. And I
Oh,
really do
geez.
feel bad for people that have issues that it may be easy to go to the gas station and get Kratom. And that may help them at that time. But I'm thinking about my son who has been diagnosed. When the gentleman talked about depression, my son in high school was diagnosed with major depression disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and social anxiety disorder. And he has ADHD. So there's a lot of factors working against him.
Sounds like a crutch, lady.
To say that it helps with depression and anxiety just makes me want to vomit.
Oh, gee.
Because I have watched it with my eyes. I don't need anyone up here telling me anything because I've lived it and I'm still living it. So really, it doesn't matter what it says in black and white or what they say. My son is addicted to Kratom. This is his 10th rehab. He
Her
has
son's an
also
addict.
spent time in a mental
anything,
hospital.
it sounds like. If it
When
wasn't
he is
Kratom, he'd
sober,
find something else.
just recently, he got out of a rehab facility. Mom, I want to go back to school. I want to go to school. Okay, you can go. You finish that degree. He has an associate's degree. He's been trying forever to get the 4-year degree. He made a B. He was sober. He's intelligent. He relapsed on Kratom. And, the next course he took, he failed out of it. He's a good child. But I've watched this very kind, good child do things that I never in my life would have imagined him doing. He pawns his gifts, his Christmas gifts, his birthday gifts. He's stolen from his grandparents.
This is not Kratom behavior, dude.
No, it's
He's
not.
asked for
None
money
of
at
this
gas
it
stations
is.
and told people he's out of gas and he needs to borrow $10.
I know
No, he's
people
taking
that do
Kratom
that.
in
Kratom, and
between
it's
what
pretty
he's using
cheap.
this other stuff
Hold
from.
on. You also let me know when you want to stop and talk because
Oh,
you can't
sorry.
hear both at the same time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It makes it hard to hear both at the same time.
Yeah.
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 But yeah,
It pisses me off because I've known several people like this, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and I can tell you that shit is not how Kratom users act.
no, that
At
right there is
all.
a legal scapegoat. Little
Yep.
Timmy doesn't want his mommy knowing what he's actually doing because
Right.
wait,
Yes.
just
Right.
wait, she's gonna make this statement that you're gonna be like, what?
Yep.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, it's just going to get worse. But
I don't know if she said it already because everybody started talking at once. But
I'll back it up a little bit. But she obviously is not seeing what's right in front of her.
No,
No.
because she's blinded. She's
Yeah.
blinded by just.
This is
I mean,
not
obviously she's
Kratom does
enamored.
not do this
Yeah.
to people.
She just wants to. I mean, I get it. I'm a mom,
Right.
but I'm also
We
realistic.
understand that.
Like, I'm gonna know. I'm not gonna live in make believe land and just believe whatever the fuck my kid tells me.
Yep.
Like, I can
Right,
see and
right.
read behaviors.
Yeah.
So,
like Daddy says, we have common sense.
yep,
Yes.
it's common sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is a good comment. She needs a scapegoat. It's exactly what she's
Yeah.
doing.
Exactly.
She's
There's
making
a lot of
Kratom
moms like
a
that. There
scapegoat
is.
in this. Well, let's keep watching. I backed it up just a little bit.
Okay.
Pawns his gifts, his
If
Christmas.
anybody wants to say anything, just tell me to stop. So
Just
'cause
raise your hand.
Yeah. Well, I don't always see because I'm watching the screen too. But just say stop.
His gifts, his birthday gifts. He's stolen from his grandparents. He's asked for money at gas stations and told people he's out of gas and he needs to borrow $10 just to go in and buy Kratom, and it's pretty cheap. So I understand why these people are here, because it's a money cow. And I wonder, would you allow your child to take it?
Yes.
I mean, really?
Yes.
I mean, let's be real.
Yes.
Would you allow your son
Yep.
to go and just take it?
Yes, I would.
I want to know that answer. Would you?
Oh my
She's grilling John, ain't it?
Mr. President,
He has something called self.
point of order.
But my son
President,
does not
the
have
Director of
self-control.
Point of order.
Okay, my son doesn't have a lot of self-control. He has impulse.
Sorry,
You know,
everybody
with
else is
ADHD comes impulsivity. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he has that.
Yep.
And he's an
I
addict.
suffer with that.
And this is so
Yep.
convenient to get it at a convenience.
Time out. How old is this child of hers? She's
I
yet
don't
to
know.
say it.
Obviously old if
She's
he's
yet
got
to say it.
associates.
If he's a minor, it's her responsibility. Everything she's
Yeah.
talking about falls on her. If he's a grown adult, then it falls on him.
Right. And
I
she's
wonder-
still making up excuses for his ass,
Yes.
and he's got an associate's degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
I
mean,
wonder if
come
her
on.
son even knows that she got up there and told his business like that.
That she should.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But it's
And
like,
you know,
it's
you can
just
hear the
he's a-
guy on the council member trying to get her to, out of order. He was trying to get the dude
Well,
to
because
use the
she's
gavel.
grilling John. She's turning around and grilling John.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
talking to them, which is the whole point of standing right there, is not to turn around and grill people behind you.
And like I said, this is not the first time this is going to be brought up, but why is religion and politics being
yeah.
interchangeable here?
I can't stand it. And it used to make, I don't know, it still kind of makes me angry. Like when moms are so blinded, they have to keep
Well,
making up excuses for
This
their
comment
adult
right
kids.
here. Mom is an enabler. She's
Yes.
Exactly.
She is absolutely enabling.
And they just make
them.
up excuse after. So,
Yeah.
well, he's got ADHD. My son does too. Guess what?
Same
know,
with my son.
he's-
Right.
I
Like
give him
even-
Kratom.
Like even if this is her son's 10th time in rehab or whatever, he's alive
Yeah.
because of
Right.
Kratom. If it's truly Kratom that he's doing.
And I mean,
Right.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's got, whew.
You're not at a gas station trying to get money from people to go buy Kratom.
Yeah, you're not
know
returning
that.
Christmas gifts. You're
we
not,
know that.
yeah.
So she's in denial or being lied to. All right, let's keep going. Boy, we're not even halfway through this one yet. Oof.
Store that you can walk in and get it. So it just calls to him. It's easy to get.
Oh
And
my
I know
God.
that you remove Kratom and there'll be something else. And he has to try
Yes, it'll be fentanyl or heroin. What the hell is wrong
Yep.
with this lady? What is wrong with her? Oh my God.
to get clean and sober for himself. But it is certainly difficult to go into a gas station and see it
What
everywhere.
about alcohol?
So please know that when they talk about how it helps anxiety, I've only seen it cause my son anxiety. Anxiety on how he's going to get the next hit. Anxiety on how can I steal
Liar.
this money?
Yes.
How can I exchange this Christmas gift card and sell it to my brother so I can get cash so I can go buy Kratom? That's what causes his anxiety and his depression and his multiple rehabs. Thank you very much.
Next hit.
Who refers to Kratom as a hit?
Anyone else?
Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Got time for
Anyone that gets relief for their anxiety and or depression with Kratom should be really upset with this lady for saying all
me.
that, because that is just wrong. The millions of people that this helps that suffer from anxiety and depression, she just slapped y'all in the face with that.
Sure
Yeah.
did. Sure did. And those of us that survived active addiction where we did stupid shit like that.
Right.
I
Exactly.
was doing shit like that to get
Exactly.
my cocaine. I was doing shit like that to get my FDA approved pain pills.
Yeah.
But we don't know what kind of Kratom that he's supposedly getting his hit from.
Yeah, it could be his little
True.
them 708.
Is it the
bullshit.
708 crap?
Yeah.
Here's a good comment. Tell me you don't understand addiction without telling me you don't understand addiction.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Nailed it perfectly with that one.
I
Oh,
wonder if
man.
he's went in and stole some of his daddy's pills from the pharmacy,
Yeah.
Boy, the comments are fired up. Y'all are fired up about
Dude, I'm
this.
sorry, Kels, I forgot
Man.
to tag you. I feel like a
Which one is Kels?
asshole.
Because it's
The
just
one that
saying.
just said, "Tell me you don't understand addiction without understanding
Oh,
addiction."
that was Kels. Okay.
Sorry,
We
Kels. I'm a
can't- We can't. I mean, I can't see who the different
Yeah.
Facebook people are.
Yeah.
I can pretty much tell which ones are Craig's. We know Craig so well. I usually know which ones are his. All right, not always, but most times. All right, let's keep going because oh man, we're not even done, y'all. We are 18 minutes in. This is a 34-minute video. Are there going to be any other pro Kratom people here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank God. Thank God.
For one or two more, please. You would please state your name and address for our records, and you'll have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Tana Stieg and my address is 397 Pine Ridge Road, West Monroe. I'm here to advocate for Kratom. My background is in psychology. I have done mental health therapy. I've ran an IOP class under the supervision of a psychiatrist. I resigned that position in 2017 when they closed down the business in this area. I do also run my own personal business, so I have a experience on both sides of this fence. As far as that, I do have about a 5% income that comes in from this product, but I also have seen the good and some of the concerning areas of Kratom as well. I have multiple people who have sent me messages on Facebook. They weren't able to be here today, as far as their experience with like major back surgeries and things like that, and having the clarity and consciousness that Kratom brings them that the opioids and other painkillers that they were on did not. My mother is a personal example of that. She had 9 back surgeries in 1 year. She's always been a saved woman. She's been involved in all kinds of community things for years and years, and she would just sit in her chair because of prescription drugs and didn't care to see her grandchildren or anything else like that. And she's super involved every day. She used Kratom, she moved forward, and she is now not on anything. So the gap that was made with that was really amazing for my mother personally. And that was at the age of roughly 68, 69 when this occurred for her. So she wasn't like suddenly out in the streets, or she wasn't 20 or anything like that. Do I think it would be good for us to regulate it, have some more restrictions on it, make sure children and other young people that are struggling with mental disorders are not able to get a hold to it as easily? Yes, I think that would be wonderful. And I also would like, I know it is a concern, but I would also say if the prescription drugs are so much better than Kratom, why is there an opioid pandemic in the first place? Is it really regulated in a beneficial way at this point? And that's technically irrelevant to this, but it's also a concern. Like, if the debate is one or the other, I think both of them could use some attention, in my opinion. And as a business owner that does sell this, I would like to say that I have been selling it for 12 years. I have seen, I also was in business during the synthetic days when we had to ban all those. And I will absolutely stand up here and say they were horrifying and they did a lot of damage to a lot of people. But being 12 years in business now, my customer base is people that work long hours. I don't have anybody under the age of 30, and I have customers that have been regular customers with the same dosage for 8 to 10 years. So I just wanted to come up here and share my experience with you guys.
Thank you.
I like her.
Hey, thank you.
You go, girl.
Anyone else? I have time for one more person if anyone wants to speak.
How you guys doing on this evening?
State your name and address for our records, please.
Quincy Powell, 100 Pine Lake Road, Calhoun, Louisiana.
Thank you.
So I kind of stumbled up here for a different reason. I felt compelled I needed to say something concerning it. Not only am I a pastor here in the city of Monroe, I do life skill coach. So I'm talking to youth constantly. And this term has come up plenty of times during my teaching in the classroom. And I feel that if
these different topics are coming up, we need to be again to start evaluating how is it affecting the community. Because it seems like to me, everybody that's here in support of it has something to profit from it. And my thing is, when you
And the
put this drug
pharmacist
out there in the
doesn't?
community, it's going to affect the communities that these stores are in. And many times we wonder why there's so many crime that's out there in the street, because we're
So like this is gonna
floodgating
cut down
our
on crime.
neighborhoods
Oh my
with
God.
drugs. And one thing about me, when I grew up, my father was on drugs, and he had these addictions. And
Kratom
today's
could save
society
them.
create different
Yep.
drugs. Why? Because people love getting their pockets fat, and they don't care for mankind. And the Bible says it like this. He said, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And that's why we have the problems that we have, because we putting our trust in you guys to
Can you
help
pause it real quick?
society some of the things that we're
Not near one of them peoples up there that got up there talking about religious stuff talked about how the Bible talks about,
Yep.
this fruit or plants tree or what. I don't know the Bible verses, but
The
I've seen
leaves of
Dr.
the
Heidi say
trees
them.
are for the healing of the nations, right?
Yes. Not near one of them peoples up there, they talk about, those Bible verses, but they want to talk about all the negative shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like I said, why is religion and politics being interchangeable in this parish meeting?
Yeah.
The Oochie
And if-
Coochie.
Yeah, and if he's talking about, it's going to cut back on crime, it's like, how many crimes are there right now that's Kratom related? If it was that fucking
Right.
bad, you'd think this would have happened a long time ago.
Right.
The police
Meeting would
would
happen.
have been so more involved.
Right.
There
Right.
would have been bills brought up to get things passed because it's such an issue. It's not an issue. Wow.
So ridiculous, dude.
They're making it the issue.
Right.
Yeah.
They are.
Every time we watch these, it's exactly what it is.
And
These
this guy was
people are
just,
making-
sitting in the
he
audience.
stumbled-
not
What'd he
even-
say? I stumbled.
Stumbled.
upon-
Yeah, he stumbled up here. So he's just standing back there listening to all this bullshit, the lies. And so he feels compelled to get up there.
Right.
Because
Right.
they're talking like Kratom was like crack cocaine or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get
It's
out of here.
exactly what they're trying to portray it. All right, let's keep watching.
we're faced with in this economy in our neighborhoods, and we're entrusting you guys by voting you guys in office to take a stand and
Trying to
start
guilt trip
pushing
them.
drugs to fix issues that people are harvesting, depression, because of things that have happened. Drugs don't fix anything. In fact,
It's not a
you're
drug.
opening up a big old monster by letting these stores parade around drugs just because we want to make a buck.
Big old
So
monster.
The
I'm totally
pharmacist
against
is
it.
there.
Again, I wasn't planning on
I
saying anything,
know.
but I was compelled to do it because somebody got to help people that's concerned for
Oh
people
my
out.
God.
Putting drugs in the streets don't help people. It makes matters worse.
He don't
and
give a
you-
shit
you're
about
gonna
the chronic
end up
pain
having more
people
crime.
or the
Right.
addicts
People
or
are
anything that
more
could
like
benefit from Kratom.
drug zombies in the street. Can't be
Oh my-
productive on the job.
Drug zombies?
And I'm sitting here thinking this pharmacist is sitting in there in the
Drug
audience who sells actual fucking drugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Yeah, if anybody's producing drug zombies, it's the pharmacist, not
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
Right.
behind him.
not your friendly smoke shop selling kratom. Oh my God, this
This
dude,
guy is delusional, man.
I
He's
know.
compelled by the body of Christ or
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's
some religious shit.
compelled by Christ.
There's 10 more minutes of this hearing. Like, somebody make this stop. Oh my gosh, let's keep going.
Jobs. Can't get to school. And when you do all those different things, they're not educated. And so I'm totally against it. I'm glad I came tonight because I have an opportunity to speak since I'm a citizen. That's my take on it.
Okay.
You
sit
should take the
down.
opportunity to learn.
Right. It's gonna
Yeah.
be our visitors.
We'll teach
Mr.
you,
President,
Pastor.
before we,
You absolutely can't. After this, we'll
I
take
love
this
this
matter
dude.
to a vote.
Yeah.
Bunty Patel, 2715 West Deborah.
Thank you.
I just kind of want to know, like, I understand that, there's both sides to this, but what is it really going to do? So we're not banning it nationwide. We're banning it in this little area. So what do you think these people are going to do? Do you think they're really just going to quit? I mean, I'll go ahead and say it, even though it's a little uncomfortable. I sell it. So, I mean, yeah, I'm making a profit off of it. I'm gonna slap myself. I'm sorry. But I mean, do you not think that they're going to go somewhere else and not buy it? They're just going to quit? Like, they're going to go 15 minutes down the road and buy it. I mean, then also, like, I can go into Cotton or Parish or Applebee's and sit down at their table and order 10 beers and drink it and then go into my car.
Drive home.
Right?
What about all those people? Like, what about sugar? Like, diabetes is one of the biggest killers in the world. Like, and you can find it anywhere. Like, our kids are Halloween. Look at Halloween. It's candy. Like, that's worse than drugs. I had one of the doctors. I'm not a doctor, but one of the doctors was talking about liver damage. But what about McDonald's? What about Burger King? I mean, like, eat that for 20 or 30 days and see what that does.
And kratom doesn't cause liver damage.
So, I mean, I'm just kind of, confused a little bit. I understand, people have probably taken kratom and they've OD'd, but what's there to say, like, one of these kids could go into Super One and buy 2 bottles of Robitussin and drink that. What are you going to do about that? I worked at a company for 6 years. This lady got fired for drinking hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
so,
dude.
There's so many things out here in this area. Like, you ban kratom, you can go 5 minutes down the street over here and somebody's cooking something in their garage. Like, I mean, that's all I have to say. I was just kind of
They don't
trying
like
to figure it
this.
all out. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody's telling it like it
Mr.
is.
President, let me make a comment. Coming from a disadvantaged community, I just can't see my people go get on kratom, and I'm not taking away from your pockets, but your arrogance just coming up just when you talk about human life.
He just
Yes.
dropping facts, buddy.
It's like he thinks this is crack.
Well, he thinks also they're acting like it's
finding
been
crack.
banned this whole time and it's not been in stores at all. And like they're talking about introducing it and just like, dude, it's been around this whole time. Y'all
been
don't know
around.
shit about it.
It's been
Right.
around. There's not been a problem until somebody brought it up to make it
Get
like
outta
it's a
here.
program.
Now, I went and found the guy speaking. I went and
Mhm.
found his Facebook post. He did his research on kratom. So let me read what he says before you start listening to him speaking.
Okay.
He says, and I dropped Senator Kleinpeter's videos in there. On how Senator Kleinpeter, when we watched that whole Louisiana hearing happening, we saw Senator Kleinpeter introduce the ban bill. Then he took the ban bill off the table. Then he put it back up, kind of, but with regulations where parishes can ban when they see fit. That's how he left it.
Yeah.
So I dropped that video, truth in his comments. But anyway, this is his post. His name is Michael Thompson Sr. Starting December 1st, a kratom ban will be enforced in Ouachita Parish unincorporated areas, excluding businesses within Monroe and West Monroe city limits. After conducting thorough research, I voted against the ban due to the lack of action on more pressing substance concerns. The research revealed no evidence that the African American population is disproportionately affected by this drug, and no local data supported the ban, prompting my opposition. However, I remain committed to serving my constituents and listening to their concerns.
I was wondering who voted no, because it wasn't there one that he was the one.
Yeah, he was the one.
Okay.
And he's the one that's talking right
Yeah.
now. And which
Yeah.
which one is he on the screen?
He's the dude from
In the
second
white
to the
shirt?
left. No,
The
the
far-
black shirt.
The far left?
Yeah, the far left. So he's the guy in the black shirt, the
Okay.
black dude in the black shirt.
Because the guy in the maroon shirt the whole time,
Okay.
Or maroon.
the guy in the maroon shirt the whole time looks like he don't want to be there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought.
But it's the guy in the white shirt next to him talking, right? Far left.
Oh, I don't know who's
that
talking.
right?
I think the guy in the maroon shirt is talking right now. So play it.
Thompson.
Oh. So the thing you just read us is the guy in the maroon shirt?
Yeah.
Because the whole time others were talking, he acted like he wanted to be done and didn't want to be there.
Well,
His
he
body
did.
language was terrible.
He did his research. I know that Laura Rodney Smith sent him a ton of information before,
changed his
like,
mind.
because she was there last time when she
Yeah.
testified. So I don't know if they had one-on-one conversations afterward, but she still followed up by sending him the actual factual research on Kratom.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
he's probably sitting back thinking, this is wasting my damn time.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Disappointing. And
That's
that
him talking,
a
right?
lot of y'all stores
Yeah,
are in
it
my
is.
district.
Yeah.
My concern is about my people, not your pockets.
Yeah, it is.
I hear what you say. I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying.
Miss,
So that's why they're
Bacon, would
getting
you like to
mad
take this
out in the
matter up?
audience, I guess.
I'd like to have a comment before we take it up. I too am a pastor. However, I do know how to separate the two. I'm not.
Wait a minute. If you know how to separate the two, why'd you just bring it up?
Right.
I know.
This is government. This is a government meeting.
But
That's just pastors. Everybody that's a pastor loves to tell everybody they're a pastor before. You know what I mean? That's just how they are.
I guess it's like if you're a pimp, you'd love to go around telling people
I
you're
know,
a pimp.
but
I guess
you're supposed to be separation of church and state.
Yeah.
So, it's like, let me say it because I can in this
Yeah.
because everybody else is doing it. So I'm going to jump on the bandwagon too.
For a profit portion of this particular this deal, I do echo the sentiments of this gentleman. There are going to be some people that's going to come before us and going to say, well, y'all banned Kratom. It's time to ban alcohol, because somebody did say that. Somebody came to me and said, Mr. Thompson, well, I want to come before you and I want you to put forth them to ban alcohol. Now we're going to have a ripple effect of everybody want to come in and ban everything that's already in stores that's legal. And so now we're going to have this, we're going to have a problem. And again, I understand that some people may get addictive. Okay, it's called substance abuse. We have some people, and I have a pastor that calls, said, Mr. Thompson, I use Kratom. I'm 66 years old. It helps me with some of the problems that I have going on. Some people, yes, do abuse some of the things that are in our stores. They abuse it. There are some that are really good citizens that take care of themselves, that want to be able to have these alternatives. And so I when I first heard when Ms. Tony brought this up, I went to look up everything I could. I saw the same thing that that gentleman said in the back about Kratom, and Kratom came up on the FDA on Google. The first thing that came up, the negative side of it.
Yeah.
Then I start looking at another side of it, of the associations that actually back this particular drug, that have people that take this particular drug for medicinal purposes. Now, I'm not a doctor. This is not my area. And I don't even see why our legislators sent this to us.
Yeah.
They had this in their hand to take care of firsthand, and they didn't take care of it. And they sent it back down to all the small municipalities for us to take the hit off of this situation.
Great
and it's
point. You should be
unfortunate
mad
that we have to be the ones to take the blame for banning it in our areas.
Yep.
It should have been something that's taken care of a long time ago in all these other areas. And I understand that other areas and other states may have banned it in their area. Well, that's in their area. The state of Louisiana had this opportunity to do that twice or three times. When I went back, I think it's like 3 times they had the opportunity to do it. They sent it back down for us to take care of it, and it is unfortunate. But these are just my sentiments on this particular item, and this is another thing that I always like to talk about. I always say, sometimes you can't legislate morality.
Yes.
The people morally, have their own stance on things and what they do, and I just have a problem with legislating or morality. And that's all I have to say on that.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out which one's Thompson, actually.
That was him because he
Um,
said Thompson.
Already.
He said his name was Thompson a couple times.
So
Okay.
it's not the guy in the maroon shirt, it's the white shirt?
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Makes sense it'd be the guy in the white shirt.
But it's like he's the only
Oh.
one that has any sense on the whole damn
Yeah.
council.
And who said that when he researched it, he dug past all that propaganda stuff that's going to be at the top of the search. How many others around the country have done that? Most do not. You know, they don't take the time to educate themselves. So I really appreciate all of this that he said. All right,
Yeah,
we're
and-
almost done with this, by the way. We got just 2 minutes left. Go ahead.
And the other thing is, it's so crazy because if they start banning all these little teeny parishes, it's going to be like if you travel anywhere, it's going to be like ping pong or
Right.
Yeah,
trying to think.
whack-a-mole.
Like
Right.
ping pong. Yeah, yeah, it's like whack-a-mole.
Maroon shirt.
Is that Craig saying that? That
Yeah,
looks-
yeah.
looks like a Craig comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, Jenny saying I went to Reddit. You know, people go to Reddit to
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
get this info.
Lord, Reddit rats. I love how Misty called it. That's such a good name.
Yeah.
Reddit rats.
All right, let's wrap
Brilliant.
this up because we're almost done. Let's keep
Voted.
going.
So I think that now would be a good time, but I am gonna add one comment. It has passed here, but the buck stops here. So we have an opportunity to do this and to vote. And as a mom, and as a Christian, this is something that was brought to my attention that one of my constituents brought up to me that was a concern that he and others had seen. And I've listened to constituents on both sides of it. And I've heard it. And I'm just going to tell you that for the past month, I have prayed over it. I've had my life group praying for me. So I'm not making this decision lightly. It's the last thing I want to do to hurt.
I guess she
any
thinks
business
people can pray their
really.
pain away too that live in
But
Yeah.
Right,
I,
right.
I
He's one of
cannot,
those.
if there's something that I can do to help even this small part of our parish to stop a drug that's highly addictive for anybody, I don't care what the age is. I
Highly
want to
addictive,
do
my
my
ass.
part. And I'm listening to the pharmacists and the doctors who are far more highly trained than
Pharmacists.
me and any else in this room, I believe. And if they're medically telling you there are
Adulterants.
other avenues to treat the conditions that were brought forth as far as possible benefits to it, then those are regulated. And this ban that we're putting forth is hopefully more as these keep happening. Maybe the FDA will say, hey, you know what? This is something we need to regulate.
Lady, you got it so wrong. She thinks, oh, if all these municipalities ban it, then maybe the FDA will be like, oh,
Yeah,
we-
they'll be like, oh, let's step in and do something to help these people. Get out of
Right.
here, lady.
wow. And the guy from the smoke shop made perfect sense that she's not understanding here. They're just going to go down the street to
Yeah.
where they can buy it.
Yeah.
They're going to take their business elsewhere.
Exactly, which will take money out of their community.
And it's
Mhm.
like, I'm not trying to knock. It's just for her to sit there and say, I've prayed for an entire month. So I'm not making this. It's like, are you serious though? Like, that's how people are supposed to make decisions for an entire fucking parish
It's
by
ridiculous.
Right,
praying on it.
right.
I'm
And
sorry.
not researching. That's disgusting. That's so disgusting.
Well, yeah, she would be telling us, "Pray, I'll pray for your pain to go away."
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
exactly what she'd be saying to us. You know,
I'll
Yeah.
pray for your substance abuse order to go away
Yeah.
and go back to down to Georgia with the devil.
Dude, I tell
Yeah.
you, one of my favorite memes of all time is, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's like, not enough people, this child died of cancer because not enough people shared it on Facebook or whatever. And I think about that every time somebody says, I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, but it's like, sometimes you have to do a little bit more than just that.
But, this is why I said, I'm not dissing religion,
No,
But-
yeah.
but you got to separate it when you're
Right.
making a
100%.
life or death decision.
100%, especially with government. It's
Yes.
supposed to be
Yeah.
separate. It's supposed to be. Your job is to keep it separate when you're in government.
It's like,
And they're
that's
not
what your
doing it.
job is. Your job is to be, neutral about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And learn from each side.
But I didn't record this part before they started the hearing. They fucking prayed. You know,
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow.
I
They
think
were
Kristen said there's a
Wow.
lot of Baptist. It's a real big Baptist.
Yeah, yeah,
Which I mean,
Louisiana.
that's cool. I mean, I'm in the Bible Belt myself, but
Me
some of that
too.
shit, it bothers me because it's like, it's not supposed to be that way. You're not
Exactly.
supposed to make
Exactly.
decisions that way unless it's for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Who was it that said this, that they had to go? They couldn't hear any more of this. Y'all know whose comment that was?
It just shows Facebook
Jason.
user on my side.
Jason
Who?
Malencon.
Shut
Oh,
up.
Jason.
Sam.
Okay.
Sam, be wary. It's probably going to come to your parish next.
Man. All right, let's finish up because it's almost over now.
And I think that would be a really good thing to start with that. But in the meantime, until it is regulated, that's why I brought this forward.
Stop talking, lady. We're done with you.
Such a scapegoat,
Just remember,
dude.
the jury's had an opportunity to vote. Motion passes.
Are we
Thank you. I appreciate all of you folks being here tonight on both sides.
We are not surprised. All right. Well, are we surprised that
Dude, every time Louisiana, I mean, like, oh my God, I will never, ever, ever go to Louisiana, y'all. I shit you not. I will never step foot in Louisiana.
Same. And I'm right next to
Ever.
it. I will not go over there. All right, that was the end, right, Misty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, what a downer that was. We were doing so great till we got to that video. We were all in a good mood. Everything was great and rosy.
Well,
and-
you know what? Maybe it'll turn around here when the next thing.
Maybe they'll light some fire in you advocates' asses to go do something.
I feel bad for the
Yeah.
people in Louisiana.
I do
I do
too.
too.
But they got to go speak out. So I'm going to play now. There are 2 news stories that cover this that I'm going to play. And what's great about this next one I'm getting ready to show, you'll actually see the crowd behind that we couldn't
Yeah.
see that were behind us when we were watching them. This is actually, there were a lot of people there. So let's watch these 2. I'll just play them back to back, but y'all let me know if you want to interrupt and so we can chat.
Voted tonight to ban the sale and distribution of Kratom. It is currently sold
See,
in
they're
some
praying.
gas stations. and
Oh
some
my
say it
God.
offers benefits for those in pain. Others call it a public health issue. The DEA says if abused, it can cause psychotic symptoms.
To say that it helps with depression and anxiety, it just makes me want to vomit.
Oh.
I have watched it with my eyes.
It makes me want to vomit.
You're telling me anything because I've lived it and I'm still living it.
I don't know of a parent in America who lost a child from overdose that wouldn't rather have their child on a GMP product, a good manufacturing product, a Kratom product. So the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages of it.
And that ban goes into effect in 30 days.
Well, new tonight, the
Here's the
Ouachita
next
Parish
one.
Jury meeting was held with the biggest ordinance being the ban on the sale of Kratom. NBC 10 Sammy Petranco joins us live with an update on the decision. Sammy?
And the reason why this is getting so much news coverage versus some of the other parishes, this is closer to New Orleans, and New Orleans is a very big city there. So, they're getting a lot of attention in the big city and all the surrounding areas because some of these other parishes didn't get this kind of news attention.
Right.
'Cause they were too far away from big cities. So, that's why we're seeing these big news stories.
Yes, there was some banter back and forth during the public hearing, not only between both sides, but also with the jury as well. After all that, the jury did finally come down with a final verdict for this ordinance.
There was plenty of discussion weeks before the decision and during this meeting against and for the ban of Kratom. There's plenty of good things said from both sides, with some stating its good uses for veterans and people who are in pain and use it correctly, with others saying it's like any other drug and needs to be regulated or taken off the shelves. It makes a lot of profit for local gas stations, and one local owner said that if you take this away, why not take away other substances like alcohol? On the other side, it can be abused pretty heavily and have altering effects, which happened to a concerned mom's son who's still affected by this drug today.
We had a public hearing 2 weeks ago. We heard from both sides, like I said earlier. And, one side felt like we were making a hasty decision. So we're going to have another public hearing tonight. We're going to let folks from both sides speak.
Ultimately, the final vote was made with 4 out of 5 of the jurors voting yes for the ban of the sale of Kratom in the unincorporated areas of Ouachita Parish. Ouachita Parish Police Jury President Shane Smiley had this to say after all the public hearings.
This is certainly not anything that's personal. It's just a business decision that's being made tonight on behalf of the police jury. out of concern for the constituents.
I was also able to speak to one of the local gas stations, and they gave me a statement saying, quote, "It has its abusers, but it also has its true users that use it correctly for their needs. And for that, it should not be banned," end quote.
Madeline.
Date for when
Yeah.
this ban will begin, but if you
I'm gonna send you Senator Kleinpeter's video.
Okay.
He's the reason why these parishes, like that one dude was kind of upset about this, you know. He's the reason why.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll play it. We're almost done. We only just got like 10 seconds left of this.
If you want to learn more about the ban or when it begins, you can visit oppj.org for more. Reporting live for your.
So when does it go into effect?
It said 30
30
days.
days.
And on
Wow,
Michael
that's
Thompson's
fast.
post, it says December 1st. So
You know, some of the other places around the country where they do this ban of sale is, they give them like 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why on earth are they doing? I guess because it's a Louisiana
Louisiana.
thing. Because in Louisiana, it seems to be very fast over there.
Yeah.
30 days.
That-
I feel bad for all the business owners.
Oh, I do too. I mean, and I keep on thinking about the business owners that, have kids. Christmas is coming up, and it's like, damn, you just lost your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
That's just
right.
awful.
Yeah.
And,
and
everything's hard as it is. You know what I'm saying? And now they can't. I don't know. It just.
But this is
That's
such a
not
good
right.
comment here. Is this Craig? There was
So
another.
true.
There was another comment like this before.
Yeah,
about
it
Bourbon
is.
Street,
It's
because Bourbon
Craig.
Street, Bourbon Street in New Orleans, is you can walk around with your alcohol in your hands and go from place to place. Can't do that. In Texas,
And be
you certainly
completely
cannot
blitzed.
do that here in Texas. I tell you that you cannot have open container, but there's a place in Louisiana you sure can. Is that all of Louisiana? Do y'all know, or is that just in New Orleans?
I don't know.
I know
You
it's in
can
New
do it in
Orleans.
Vegas. You can walk around with an open container in Vegas.
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just hate it when they always do the scapegoat of,
Yeah.
well, they just said, you know what, the state already tried. We'll just blame it on or we'll put it on the
I
FDA. this
know.
time."
It's like,
Right.
they're putting it on us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear, it's sad. But on another note, like that news guy, that he looks like he's still in high school.
Like he's a
I
kid.
know.
I know.
That's
Like,
why
he
I
had
shared.
more-
That's why I share. Because you know what? Much props to him. He could be out there being like that freaking woman's son. He
Yeah,
could be out
yeah.
there having substance abuse problems and stuff. But that's why I shared his
Yeah.
story, because I'm like, you know what? This dude, I'm vibing with him.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to grab your video, Misty, and I'll play it for
Yeah, you
everybody.
guys will see why the parishes have to be the one to govern themselves, because Senator Kleinpeter, man, what the fuck?
Well, he was such a flip-flopping mother
Oh,
when all
yeah.
that was going on.
And he's former military as well. But what got to him was Paul Scheck-Snyder's
Yeah.
story. Paul Scheck-Snyder and Adam Chase Peak and his wife Leanne, they went to the other parish, because that same night in Ouachita, there was another hearing going on in Ponchatoula Parish or something like that.
Yeah, Ponchatoula.
They wound up banning it too, and I still can't find a video on that, but I did show the article on that. But they wound up fucking banning it.
It's like if anything comes up in Louisiana, you already know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But it's like, I'll be damned if I was there, if I didn't at least go to get to say my piece.
Right.
Everybody
Like I
feel that
said,
way.
Kleinpeter initially wrote a ban bill for the entire state of Louisiana. Then he got to hear his constituents. I don't know if that's plural or not, but he got to hear their actual testimonies and listen to the science when the AKA went to testify. So he flipped his script and decided to take the ban bill off you'll see.
Yeah,
You'll see
I'm
the
gonna play it for y'all. It's under 2 minutes.
Senator Kleinpeter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we amended this a good bit. We always talk about moving the needle in the right direction. And I worked with Senator Fall on this amendment. We talked about it in the committee. And instead of banning Kratom, we made it for the locals to be able to ban it and then move it to 21. If there's been story after story as far as these users are getting off of opioids by this drug. There is some of it that's bad out there. We're going to continue to work on it in the future to see where we can go in the right direction. The amendments, again, it's going to, anybody selling this to anyone under the age of 21 will, it'll be a misdemeanor. And then again, I believe in local governments having the ability to restrict or move heavily to regulate kratom. So I want to thank the Sheriff's Association, local governments, industry, as well as our attorney here, Carla Roberts, who needs a bonus on this, and Representative Gudo. We'll continue to move forward with this and see what we can do to make Louisiana better. I concur on this.
Are you moving to concur?
Senator Kleinpeter moves to concur in House amendments to Senate Bill 94. The machines are open. All those in favor vote yea. Those opposed vote nay. And the Secretary will open the machines. Vote your machines. You through voting? Close machines. 39 yeas and 0 nays, and the amendments stand concurred in.
See, the entire Louisiana state legislature voted to allow his amendments in there, which means not to sell it under the age of 21. So if the state of Louisiana didn't see a problem to ban it statewide, these local parishes should be pointing at that, being like, hey, there's no problem there. Why are you giving it to us?
Right.
Look who's here. Scars Rodriguez. Good to see you.
Scars.
Scars.
Y'all know we've been going for over 2 hours, or we're at the 2 hour mark. The Iowa City is 45 minutes long. What do y'all want to do? Like, that's as many times the one we've been watching, the Ouachita, was 34 minutes, and look how long it took us, like at least an hour to do that.
Well, the Iowa City is good news one, and they have all the testimonies. So the longest part is the discussion part.
Okay.
So that's like 30-ish minutes long.
Is it discussion?
And I'm
part
good.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's the whole thing. The whole thing is good, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This would be a perfect way to end our live stream today, because Ouachita Parish should be taking notes from Iowa City.
Yep. Totally different energy.
You know, he's talking about the nay on the Louisiana Kleinpeter doing the yays and nays. That's how they vote. They don't say yes and no. They say yay and nay.
Yay and nay.
Sorry, you didn't say yay. You said yes. Your vote doesn't count, right?
All right. So the Iowa City Council, it does say city twice. It looks funny on their screen.
I know.
It look, Iowa City, it's their city council meeting. So they have a very long session talking about, and they were going at it for 2.5 hours before they even got to Kratom.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, that night. Oh my God, you guys, listen.
It's crazy.
Yeah, tell everybody about what y'all are doing.
Oh my God. So, okay, so I got 2 phones. I got 2 phones. If you know the Kevin Gates song. Anyway, so I'm sitting over here. I got my one eye going this way to the Ouachita Parish hearing. I got my one eye and ear going the other way to the Iowa City hearing, and they're both going off at the same damn time. And my ADHD is like, oh my God, Miss D, what the heck?
I had 2 different sets of earbuds. I had one in each ear so I could hear both of them, because I was also trying to help my son with homework, and my husband came home like, can you please help with homework? And he was like, what in the hell?
So I didn't really pay attention until after the fact, when I had to clip up the videos and stuff. So, but like I'm telling you guys, I was cockeyed. It's like that way. I was ear-eyed. This way, that way. I gotta go pee though.
Okay,
me too. Yeah. Let's do another bathroom break song. Should I do a different song this time? Oh, why don't I do that cool song we like, the Living the Kratom Life. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I'll have to like get back really fast. But why don't I play that?
Because the Iowa City, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a change.
How it should be run. So it's nice to watch it.
Exactly. You know what? Just in case I don't get back in time, I will put the other song right after it, so I might start that.
Oh, hey, Scars. Sup?
All right, so we're gonna take a quick restroom break, Y'all can too. Go. Or, actually, I want to go grab a snack too. So
Yeah, I'm grabbing some
I'm
pretzels.
gonna play. This is one of the other songs we like that we'll play from time to time. So y'all jam to this. It's a great new song we found. A Kratom song. We'll be right back.
Woke up today feeling light. Grab my blend, ready for flight. Green mango, it's my start. Red barley to calm my heart. From dawn to dusk, I'm feeling free. With every leaf from the kratom tree, I take my dose, I feel alive. Yeah, I'm living the kratom life. Oh, I'm living the kratom life. So wild, every day I'm feeling revived. Capsules packed with nature's glow. Herbal realm, you already know. White flame when I need the drive. It's the power that makes me thrive. Mix it up, I found my way. Living the kratom life every day. From dawn to dusk, I'm feeling free. With every leaf from the kratom tree, I take my dose, I feel alive. Yeah, I'm living the kratom life. Oh, I'm living the kratom life. So wild, every day I'm feeling revived. Capsules packed with nature's glow. Herbal realm, you already know. You already know. When the day is long, I feel the strain. I know that kratom eases the pain. So I take my blend and I rise. With herbal realm, I touch the skies. Oh, I'm living the kratom life. So wild, every day I'm feeling revived. Capsules packed with nature's glow. Herbal realm, you already know. Yeah, I'm living the kratom life. Ooh, 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 ooh. When the day is long, I feel the strain. I know that kratom eases the pain. So I take my blend and I rise. With herbal realm, I touch the skies.
I love that song.
It is cool.
I was trying to eat my snack. All right. I love that song. It's so jamming. Everybody have a good break.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Then I forgot my water and I go back upstairs.
Yeah. Got me some grapes.
All righty.
I got my Reds, but I put
Oh, you gotta have them.
All righty. So we're going to watch Iowa City. Let me make sure I got it queued up right in the right spot. Okay.
I don't know when she. I like this comment Kathy said. What about freedom? If you don't want it, don't take it.
Yeah.
But don't screw over the people that want to. Like that's my whole thing too. It's like,
yeah.
Like seriously, that mom and her son, like,
yeah,
I really want to know if her son knows that her mom got up there and said all that shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious too. But I mean, at some point, like I don't know. I mean, when you hear somebody talk, and a lot of people are like that come up there, it's like, because one person can't handle it, then everybody should just be screwed.
Right.
Right.
Like, that's not really how the world works, man.
That's not how things work. No. All right, so we're
And
gonna
your
watch.
son obviously has other problems, a lot of them.
The way she was describing it, I would say so.
Mhm.
All right, so Iowa City is what we're gonna watch, and let's get that started. So this happened on Monday, just like the other one. A lot happened on this past Monday.
Damn near same time.
And the
Ordinance
sound is
amending
better
Title
too.
6 entitled Public Health
Good.
and Safety to create a new Chapter 11 entitled Kratom to prohibit its sale and distribution. And this is a motion for pass and adopt. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved, Harmson. Second, Mo.
All right. And anyone from the public like to address this topic, please welcome. And there is a sign-in sheet at this.
This mayor
unless
grew
you
on me.
guys
I
took
love
it
his
from the back.
voice.
Great.
I was just thinking that's so
Welcome. You'll be given
soothing.
up to 3 minutes to speak.
Timu MC Hammer.
I'll be reading a statement by someone else.
Great.
My name is Fennec. Right now, I'm going to read a statement first by Court Williams. My name is Court Williams, and I wanted to say something about how Kratom has improved my quality of life. I've held a full-time job for 10 years and have been promoted, which is something I didn't think was possible for me at one time. I know countless others who can say the same across all walks of life and occupying all levels of the socioeconomic hierarchy. You might ask yourself then why more people haven't spoken up about the Kratom ban issue. I think there are a few reasons. Some might be afraid of a social stigma. Others who struggle with anxiety in public speaking situations. Still others who occupy a humbler socioeconomic status may feel that people won't listen to their voices.
Yep.
All of these reasons are true for me to some degree, plus work schedule conflicts. So on behalf of all of those who for whatever reason can't be here today, I'm asking you not to take away this resource away from our community. That's the quality of life argument, and it's an important one. But there is another argument that is perhaps even more vital, the harm reduction argument. Some people use Kratom to quit illegal street drugs. In a world where street drugs get more dangerous every day, it is no exaggeration to say that lives may depend on this decision. So for all of these reasons, I'd ask you to reconsider the Kratom ban on my own behalf and on behalf of those who could not be here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
For myself, I would like to say I have spoken before and mentioned very similar things as Court here. I think also it needs to be recognized that this is not a decision that would affect just our community. Because Kratom is something many aren't very aware of, instead of doing research and trying to look at what options there may be for regulation and public resource, places consider just banning. And they will use places that ban as a reason for themselves to do so. Meaning if this is a decision that is made without being sure if it is necessary to ban or if this is something that should be regulated instead, you could be affecting other communities, other people's access, and other people's quality of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Kratom behavior right there.
Yeah.
Welcome.
100%.
Please state your name and city you're from.
Andrea Weber, Solon, Iowa. All right, so hello everyone, my name is Andrea Weber. I'm an addiction physician here in Iowa, and I service the Iowa City community. I'm also the board chair for the Iowa Harm Reduction Coalition, which is a nonprofit group here really focused on trying to provide healthcare and equity for people who use drugs. I'm here to speak against the proposed ban for the Kratom in the community. I'm aware that the council and the community has had a lot of discussion about this, and I really appreciate it because I think historically this would have been a really quick, easy decision without people coming forward and really putting some thought at all aspects of what this would entail. I'm a student of historical drug policy, and unfortunately over about a century of U.S. policy says that when we ban a substance that already has a demand, that tends to lead to more harm compared to having access to a legal, well-regulated drug supply. I spend a lot of time in my life talking to people who use drugs, specifically people who have opioid use disorder, which is similar to the previous speaker, people who don't necessarily always get a voice at the table. Based on recent data, Iowa has had an increase in our overdose-related deaths relative to the national trend, which actually saw a decrease. Many people who have an opioid use disorder have used Kratom as a way to move away from a dangerous poison drug supply, as a way to mitigate symptom. And I've really done so oftentimes with success, and sometimes potentially just as a bridge till they can come see me in a clinical setting. A lot of our Iowa laws through a lens of harm reduction are not accessible for people with substance use disorders. And then getting people to medical treatment still is a barrier. We try more and more to get people to come in to see us instead of utilizing unregulated drug supplies, but it's really hard to do so for people. I'm not going to stand here and say that there's no harm to Kratom, because truly there's harm to everything that we utilize in medicine, whether it's a regulated substance or a medication or a prescription. So that just cannot be said, unfortunately. I think what could be really gained is a more robust, well-informed public health policy around Kratom. It's a relatively unknown substance, and it requires much more education around what is known about its benefits and its risks. I see very few patients actually come to me because of Kratom difficulties. Of the people that I've seen, most of them started using Kratom because they were unaware of what it did. They didn't know that they would develop an opioid-like tolerance to it. They didn't realize that their use might progress over the course of years. Any adolescent that's been exposed to it has oftentimes been because their parent bought it for them thinking it was something like creatine or some sort of natural performance enhancer. So just a ton of misinformation that really a good public health campaign could remedy pretty quickly. In addition to a lot of education, other types of regulation, whether it's just minimum age of purchase, density outlet density control, as well as just kind of forced labeling around these products as to the potential risks, I think would be a better path forward. With that, I appreciate your consideration of my comments and really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I like her.
Yeah.
She was
Welcome.
good.
Please state your name and city you're from.
Hi, my name is Chantal Rasmus. I am from Washington, Iowa, but I practice as a psychiatrist at the Abbey Community Mental Health Center on the east side of town. I'm also a member of the Iowa Harm Reduction Coalition Board of Directors and have been since 2021. I'm here tonight to express my concerns regarding the potential Kratom ban. As a psychiatrist, the principle I hold above all others is autonomy. As a harm reductionist, I believe in meeting people where they're at. I don't believe that drugs are inherently bad, and I don't believe people who use drugs are inherently bad. I'd like to use the rest of my time, limited time, to speak on behalf of people who use drugs in our community. These are my friends, my family, and my patients. These are people I love and I deeply care about. I spoke recently with a patient of mine who gave me permission to talk about our conversation tonight. I've known this person for years, and I've had the privilege of being their physician and watching them go through their own recovery. And so it is someone that I trust very much, and she knows the community very well. When I asked her about the Kratom ban and what she thought would happen, she simply said people will die. It's widely used in our community as a means of harm reduction, and a ban would place another limit on a safer alternative for people who are working on their own recovery. In the last couple of years, I've seen a change in the Iowa City community. There's been an embrace of harm reduction practices. We've seen a huge increase in the use of Narcan and medication for treatment of substance use disorders. Iowa City as a community, has the capacity to influence change outside of Johnson County. Tonight, I'm asking you to consider regulation in place of a ban on Kratom. I'm asking you to continue to show up for people who use drugs, just as you have for the last couple of years. I'm asking you to embrace harm reduction practices and to think about your friends and family who may use drugs. I'm asking that you consider my patient who is alive today because of harm reduction practices. By regulating Kratom use and not banning Kratom, Iowa City sets an example for the rest of Iowa. That example can be set with banning, or it can be done with regulation. Both of those options make statements. By regulating, Iowa City loudly states that we care about our neighbors who are using drugs, who also fall into another group addressed tonight, those experiencing homelessness and hunger. It states we have learned from our past that bans are not effective. It states that we value education about substances over dangerous anti-drug rhetoric. It makes a statement that the lives of people who use drugs are important. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Yes, girl.
Anyone else like to address this topic? Welcome.
Well
Please
said.
state your name and city you're from.
I love this lady.
This will be the tampon argument.
Great.
Oh,
Oh, good. I
Welcome.
missed that.
First, I wrote a statement which sounds feistier than it should. I want to premise by saying that I moved back to Iowa City in part because of our progressive governments, and I respect all of you, and I understand that this ban is really well intentioned, but the impact has been shared is not, I think, what you want it to be. If Iowa City can ban Kratom sales, why not also ban the sale of tampons, just to be on the safe side until we know more about the effects of all of the PFAs and heavy metals they may be laced with? Councilman Harmson mentioned the importance of the FDA and the Mayo Clinic's comments on Kratom. With heavy metals and tampons, as well as Kratom, there is scientific uncertainty about their toxicological risks. There are federal regulations still underway, and both have health advisories issued by Mayo and a major federal agency. So why ban Kratom for these reasons and not tampon sales? Aren't they both potential threats to public health, safety, and welfare? I think that this is a political possibility because there's no political risk in government overreach when it's reaching to punch down at people who are considered deviant and who use weird and bad substances, which are words that have been used to describe Kratom and its users. It would really be something else if we tried to punch up at big companies, ban the sale of tampons at Procter & Gamble until we know for absolute certain that the heavy metals that they may contain are risk-free. But what really bothers me the most about this proposed Kratom ban is the bigger context that it ignores. The opiate epidemic, and specifically Iowa's refusal to release $47.5 million in OxyContin settlements to help fund people's access to treatment, and Iowa being one of only 5 states where fentanyl test strips are considered paraphernalia.
That's
In
bullshit.
conclusion, there are so few options for people who use drugs in Iowa. And this Kratom ban is just one more way to send people at risk for overdose the message that your government doesn't care if you live or die. And I know, because I trust many of you who have gotten to meet, that that's not the message that you want to send. So I hope that you will not pass this ban. Thank you.
Great.
Yes,
Thank
girl.
I love her.
I
Good
love
job.
her. Oh
Yeah.
my God, we got to talk about her. I was wondering what
Mhm.
y'all were saying with this whole tampon thing. Now that we're watching this
She's just
together,
a good speaker. Like
she
even the last time
was.
she was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she was there the last
Wow.
time.
And you know what's interesting? The whole tampon thing was just brilliant because when I was young, I was pretty young, probably a preteen, I think, when that whole toxic shock syndrome,
Same.
Yeah.
it was
Mhm.
huge,
Yeah.
y'all. It was huge. It was such a big deal to the point that a lot of women stopped using tampons
Yep.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
people died from that. It was bad. I love that she brought up something random like that because you don't ever hear
Yeah.
about toxic shock
Nobody
syndrome. Nobody talks
nobody
about that
brings that
anymore.
up.
But there
Yeah.
was a time where that was huge news.
But there was a recent recall or something, right? With the
There was?
Yeah.
tampons?
There was?
Yeah.
Let me Google that because I remember because there's been shit being recalled left or right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, every
Yes, the
day.
FDA is not, well, we're
It's
not
like, what are
surprised.
they doing?
We're not surprised they're not doing their job. But yeah, it's like every single day when I just go do like, I don't know why it's different on the mobile app. When you're just on the Google mobile app, it's not when you like go to Google. When you're on the Google mobile app, it just like brings up all kinds of just random articles and stuff. So sometimes if I'm bored, I'll just like go just, scroll through all this random stuff. Oh my gosh. Sometimes there's like, is it Newsweek? I don't remember what publication, some big publication. Every day there's like some new FDA recall. And I'm like,
Yep.
what the hell?
Yep.
What is the FDA? I was going to say, what are they doing? What are they not doing? They're
Yeah.
not
They're
doing
not
their
doing
job.
anything.
They're not doing their damn job.
They're banking their retirement money is what they're doing. So this article came out in July. Arsenic, lead, and other toxic metals detected in tampons study finds. So that was July of this year.
Yeah, because that was right around the Lunchable thing too. That
Yeah.
they found a bunch of heavy metals in the Lunchables.
Yep.
It's like, God, dog, man.
Here's one from CNN. Lead, arsenic, and other heavy metals found and tampons prompt FDA investigation.
That's scary.
Wow, that is scary. I mean, we trust the government with our health. They're not
But see,
doing
regulating
what they should.
kratom by passing the Kratom Consumer Protection Act will negate heavy metals found in kratom because they have to spend spend the money and send it off for lab testing.
Right.
Yep. So we'll already know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we know the FDA does not want to backpedal and admit that they were wrong with all of this, and put their tail between their legs. So they're just going to keep fighting this to the end. It makes more sense for them to regulate.
Man, they found 16 different heavy metals in them.
Yeah.
In what? Tampons?
Yes.
Holy cow. That's not good.
I mean,
That's
I'm
horrible.
grateful that I got, a hysterectomy done like
Same.
many moons ago. I'm grateful for that. But my girls, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Did that girl say was she with a like the other was psychiatrist, like they were all like medical did she I don't recall her
She said that she in the last one, she said that she had worked with the homeless and but she wasn't with an actual, but she's had experience.
But she works in the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
don't
her.
exactly remember what
She was cool. I like her.
Yeah, I
But
like her.
If you guys don't know, it was like a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when me and Jennifer both testified at this hearing, and Laura Romney Smith and Dr. Heidi.
When
and
y'all
Mac
zoomed
Haddo,
in. Y'all zoomed in, right? Okay.
We zoomed in on the call.
Yeah.
And we testified, and that chick was at that same hearing as well.
Yeah, I remember her before, seeing her on screen. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Anyone else in the public like to address this topic? See no one online or in person. Council discussion.
This is where it gets really long.
I don't trust the American Kratom Association. And
who's saying that?
Trust
the guy who brought the ban bill.
Which one?
But has since changed his mind.
Oh, the one with the long hair, the ponytail guy?
No, not ponytail.
I don't like him. I don't like
the
ponytail.
Councilman Dunn, the one that looks like a book fair nerd or something. But he wound up switching his stance on it after the change.org petition was made.
Oh, he's the one in the black shirt on the right? That was on that TikTok video you had?
Yeah.
And there was like a news story with him. Yeah. Yeah. Nerdy guy. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the nerdiness. I
No.
Everybody a nerd.
No. I just remember in the video, that's how I remembered him.
I just don't want people to think that I'm dissing somebody when I call somebody a nerd.
No. I think our
nerds
community here knows. Yeah. I'm like a total techie nerd, so I'm not
They're scientists.
But when I see him, I think nerdy dude.
Like Scholastic
in a
Book Fair.
in a very respectful way.
Have reason to trust necessarily or implicitly the producers or inherently the sellers of kratom in our community and across the country and across the world. But I do trust the people in this room tonight. And when I think about this discussion, and I think about the discussion that happened last week, or not last week, or at our last meeting, comparing risk of, other substances that are regulated across the United States, particularly in our state, like alcohol, or in many of our neighboring states, marijuana. I'm hard pressed at this point to be supportive of a ban. I would again reiterate, I think a good potentially middle ground for us would be to have a streamlined regulatory framework that goes along with our tobacco policies. So distance, permitting, all encompassing in the same stuff, I think what's mentioned tonight, as well as that discussion of comparative risk, is very persuasive, especially if we think about things like marijuana. Because I think just wagering a guess, a good chunk of us up here are probably pro legalizing marijuana. I am. And I don't see how I can make that mesh at this time with the information that we have in front of us. So I would really ask if we could have one more person go for no.
And this is the guy that brought the ban bill to
Yep.
start the whole thing a while back,
Yeah.
Yep.
but has since changed his tune.
Yes.
Because
But
he did his research.
yeah,
And then the change.org position that was done by a smoke shop owner that's there, you know, he listened to the voices in that petition. So if
Which
you
is
guys
what they
sit-
should do.
Yeah. So
Right,
if you guys
right.
sit back and think that change.org petitions don't help or they're a waste of time, no, this dude is proof of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
and prior to him even bringing the ban bill to begin with, whenever that was a while back, did anybody else on this council even know about Kratom?
Not really, because I mean, he even
Nope.
mentions that, or one of them does.
Yeah.
But I mean, this whole committee, you can tell that they are. I mean, they're serious. They take their job seriously. They are open to learning new things and changing their minds, and you know, I mean, it's amazing. It's just
It's a breath
amazing.
of fresh air. We don't see
Yes.
it normally.
It is.
We see closed-mindedness, greater than thou attitudes, and
Like we saw in Ouachita
yeah,
Yeah.
or Hoochie Coochie
all,
or
all
whatever
the
else.
different,
Yeah.
all the
People
Louisiana.
not wanting to admit they're wrong, and it's not
Yeah.
that, you know, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that you didn't know.
You're
and now you do.
uninformed.
Yeah.
Right. You
Uninformed.
got more information and now you can make an informed decision.
And
Yeah.
in Illinois, where they get all mad that, you know, well, you sent us this huge book of
Yeah.
research and they don't want to look at it.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's like they're not doing their job.
Right.
So
So
kudos.
watching the progression of this Illinois hearing is just, it gives me the goosies.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've watched it twice, like the whole thing over again, because it's awesome. You know, it
It's
gives you
how it,
hope.
yeah, it's how it
yeah,
should
the
be
one we're
done.
watching now, because that's
Yes.
that's Iowa.
Yeah.
You said Illinois.
What?
Oh.
You said Illinois, Misty. That's why I was just making sure.
Oh, wait, what did I
No,
say?
You said
You said
Illinois. but
Illinois.
You were talking about this one. This one's
Oh,
Iowa.
my bad. Okay.
Okay, I know because I mentioned Illinois. That was me. But I just want to make
The
sure.
eye places.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
All
up,
those damn eye places.
up higher in the country. Like
We're just missing Idaho, but
Yeah.
because of Kratom, I'm no longer the hoe. Damn you, Kratom.
That
You know-
was so good. That was so good. I love it.
That was good.
All right, let's keep watching. This is you're on fire today, Misty.
It's because of Kratom.
Exactly.
I'm under the influence of Kratom right now. Who knew?
First meeting, so sorry if I'll repeat some of the things I said, just because I didn't say them again at our second meeting.
I could play this a little faster, right?
We,
They're talking
I
awfully
agree
slow.
That regulating this, like tobacco or alcohol, would be great in that it would
Is that all
be
right?
the right way to keep it out of the hands of children. It would also be, or at least prevent that, and it would also be a really great way to make sure that what people are buying is actually what it's sold to be. What we know is this thing is not regulated. You don't know the potency of it. You don't know what's mixed with it. You're not sure exactly what's in it, and so you don't know what it is. And you know, I would like to.
I know
say
what
that
mine
we
is.
had the discussion about
Same.
regulating it, like tobacco and like alcohol, which I would love to do that, but that needs to come from the state. Like that was pretty clear that the state needs to do that, and it would be my goal that we could get the state to do that. I think that is the responsible way to do that. I know that one of the speakers said that, you know, Kratom users are slandered, and I certainly do not think that Kratom users are weird or deviant. If you're searching for something to do harm reduction, I don't want to take that away. However, we do have an email from our public health expert that says this is not harm reduction. It is not harm reduction to take a substance that you don't know what it is. You don't know whether it's the pure version or the 4X version or when it's laced with something, and substitute for something that is bad. Harm reduction means taking something that is bad and finding something else that's less bad and moving away from the harm. This could potentially be worse if you get the wrong mix, the wrong kind, the wrong type. And so I'm going to trust our public health expert who wrote in to say that this is not harm reduction, and that we need to move our state towards
Dr.
a place
Nora
where,
Balkow
where
disagrees
we can
with
have
you.
Kratom that's
Yeah.
available.
What?
for
I
people
think that's the
after-
Susan lady they're talking about later.
Yeah,
on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't look her up, so I didn't know. I don't know. But
Interesting.
I can't stand bitches named Susan.
They show an ID and they know what's actually in the material that they're
Not sorry.
As this live stream progresses, you're just getting more and more feisty. I love it. We're 2 hours and 34 minutes in, and you're just getting more and more feisty. It makes it so
Well,
much fun.
you know, y'all know why. You know.
Oh yeah, I hate Susans too.
my name is not
Susan
Susan.
suck.
Whitney Houston actually has a song that says that my name is not Susan. But you know, I've been what they label me, trucker mouth. They label me trucker mouth.
Yeah.
I guess I hope that the state is paying attention. I'm doing my best to talk to our state legislators to say, pay attention, make this. And I said very publicly at the last meeting that I would be very happy to revisit this ban if our state does what they need to do to regulate age and safety of this drug. I'm happy to go that direction. I also would not support this if this was going to penalize users. This is penalizing the sellers, not the users. I wouldn't support that at all because I understand that there are people who are trying to find something. But because we don't know what's in this material, we do not know which version of it you're buying, where it's coming from, what its potency is, whether it's a synthetic or a natural.
And everything he's saying right here is why the FDA has failed our country.
Yeah.
Kratom.
Yep.
Because all the FDA has to do is have this regulated.
Yeah.
So that the vendors are forced to do all these things. I mean, we all buy from reputable vendors, so we know what we're getting.
Yeah.
But there's going to be bad actors.
What
always.
he's explaining is what's actually written in the Kratom Consumer Protection Act.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, if you want to take it 1,000 feet away from the schools, you know, or 500 feet, that's up to you guys. But there's an age limit in the KCPA. There's mandations for good manufacturing practices. The GMP, complicit vendors.
Yep.
And we want all this. We want all these regulations as Kratom consumers. But I take it because it's not regulated by the FDA. They're not doing their job. I take it upon myself. First of all, I know better than to trust them anyway. But I take it upon myself as a grown adult to do the research myself and make sure I'm buying from reputable vendors that test. That's on me, you know, and everybody else that consumes Kratom should be doing the same thing.
Yeah, that gets brought up in it a little bit too.
It does? Okay,
yeah. Cool. Pretty good. It's such a good hearing.
This is. I'm so much happier now after watching that Ouachita brought us all down.
Uchi coochie la la la.
It's been adulterated. That's really dangerous. So I will continue to vote yes to this ban.
There's my girl.
I completely concur with you on that the state should regulate it.
Oh, I remember her. I like her.
Release the $47.5 million to combat the opioid addiction and crisis.
And speaking of that real quick, I was just reading, I forgot which state it was that just got, their gazillion dollars for the opioid crisis, from what, the Walmarts and the CVSs and all that.
Yeah.
But they're like, the money is not really going into the hands of where it should be going.
Right.
Like nobody is really, it seems like there's no oversight on this. And, so many of us were caught up in different aspects of all of that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what are they doing with all this money?
I bet you that bunch of people over here on these city councils and stuff are getting, new cars
for their community. They get money for their communities, and like, what are they really doing with the money?
Like that expert that he references, that Susan chick, is she the one who's in control of releasing that millions of dollars to the community? Because recovery centers are chomping at the bit. They're waiting for that to be released.
Oh, yeah.
The Suboxone and methadone clinics are as well.
Yeah.
Because those are FDA approved, so they can get that money that came from the lawsuits, from the opioid lawsuits.
Yeah.
Kratom can't. You can't go open a Kratom clinic and then think that you can get grant monies from the state. You can't.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be fucking amazing, though.
It would be.
Oh, totally. I just wish that, there's more transparency in like, where is all this money actually going?
Yep.
Which is interesting when you look at the big picture, all the different big box pharmacies, they're paying out millions of dollars to all the states, right? First it was Purdue, now and when you keep seeing all the pharmacies, it's like, oh, they're the ones that I was buying my opioids from in pain management, and this one too. And it's like, okay, so really it's like they were selling it to me. I was paying them the profits, like they're making all this money that comes from all of us. Mm-hmm. And now they're having to pay out the states all this money. So like, where is it going to?
I will say this all the time. You know, somewhere along the line, somebody in our government fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, I survived the overprescribing epidemic.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I used to be able to just get pain pills thrown at me left and right. And I would just make up shit, you know, like I always, you know, jokingly say that, you know, we could fart wrong and pull a muscle on our back and we'd go to the urgent care.
Yeah.
And then bam, you get
Yeah.
freaking 20 morphines,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't condone our government getting in our healthcare. I do not condone that. But I don't understand how the government allowed the first overprescribing epidemic to happen.
Right.
And the reason why illicit fentanyl is flourishing right now is because our government got involved and cut off the safe supply.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
Yeah.
still think it's all, at the end of the day, it's all just about money.
It
You
is.
know,
It always
It
is.
is. It is.
drug
It
companies were like,
always is.
hey, you know, we can give you, you know, it's all about money.
Is
you
that
know?
Kel's?
Mhm.
Whose comment is that? That has to run.
I can't see.
Um,
Can
it
you tell?
hasn't popped up yet. I think it
Okay.
is Kel's.
Okay.
Oh, it's got to be Kel's.
It
Yeah,
sounds
she's
like Kel's.
laundry.
It does. It sounds like her.
Because there's a because of Kratom.
Yeah.
Bye,
It's one of
Well,
those-
thank
Kels.
you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
joining us.
Kill spicy ass.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to. And Craig, stop making obscene comments about this.
Oh my gosh, Craig.
I'm not
I
going to
will push
post
back a
that.
little. I would wager that
No,
the people
she's
who use
nice. I love
Kratom
her.
know where
Yeah,
to
we
get
like her.
the Kratom that
Oh, yeah,
works
you
for
might want to
them,
back
as
it up
opposed
so
to
you hear
ordering
what
it
she
on the
said
line where
just
they
now.
actually really don't know whether they.
Go ahead, back it up. She talks fast. Let me slow her down too, because that was going a little fast.
Oh, that was Sherry. Well, that's still Sherry. You're spicy too.
Oh,
We lo-
I completely concur with you on that the state should regulate it. They should also release the $47.5 million to combat the opioid addiction and crisis. I will push back a little. I would wager that the people who use Kratom know where to get the Kratom that works for them, as opposed to ordering it on the line where they actually really don't know whether they have someone who is providing them with consistent, wholesale or what have you. So I'm just going to push back on that. The people who use this product know where there's good and where there's bad, more so than probably Susan
right.
Valletta, who doesn't use it. So, I am
Deb,
asking
Susan.
my fellow counselors to listen to the professionals in the room representing Iowa harm reduction. At one point or another, we have all stated to varying degrees our own ignorance about Kratom. But this ignorance about Kratom has been used to push the ban forward. Please consider the potential impacts. The more that I hear, the more that I understand that this is an equity issue. It is absolutely about accessibility to, yes, harm mitigation. Is it the best? Is it the best way to reduce harm? Perhaps not in our view, but it may be what there is available and it is helping. It may also, and likely is, used for recreational purposes, as a lot of things are. We know that alcohol kills. We know that tobacco kills. We don't know about Kratom, other than we've actually had a significant amount of people come out, the folks from outside the area notwithstanding,
That's us.
to say that it has helped them.
Love
I
it.
believe it is not in our purview as city council to lay down health policy. I just think it's overreaching. I don't think this ever should have come before us. I don't think it would have registered on our radars. So I am asking for someone to reconsider their vote and, let's continue to push on the state to regulate it.
Yes.
But
that's the way to go about
this
it.
just shouldn't have come before us.
I love that
So
lady.
I appreciate all of that. And I also want to say thank you to Drs. Weber, and I'm sorry.
I think this is ponytail.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you for your
ponytail.
work you do in
I see him
this
talking.
area. This is very important work, and it's much appreciated. And I appreciate you coming forward and speaking on this topic tonight. do want
I'm gonna speed it
to
up a
kind
little
of
bit.
reiterate what Councilor Mo said, that yeah, the regulation would be great, but that has to come from the state level. That's actually not something that we could effectively do as a city. So that part of the puzzle, I just kind of like partially agree, partially not agree. I do also want to say for those, because we've been hearing this discussion since the very beginning, and one of the things I do appreciate about this city, and somebody else had mentioned this is a place that doesn't demonize people who have addictions, and that actually has not been a part of this conversation at all. By anybody that I've heard either call in, email us, or from up here on the council dais. So it has all been focused on the public health aspects and with the concern for anybody using a substance, not a looking down on for any substance, kratom or any other thing. And I don't think in my time on council, I've heard anybody that's been on this dais say anything disparaging about people who are dealing with addictions. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that hasn't been a part of the conversation that's happened in here. I can't speak to what people are saying, maybe somewhere else. One of the things that it's still my concern, and this actually is something that also I think it was Dr. Weber who mentioned about the problems with misinformation, misunderstandings, and the problems with seeing teenagers who come forward that have gotten onto this, maybe even accidentally because their parents didn't understand that this was a substance that could be leading to addiction. And so, I mean, we parents, we all try and do the best we can. And sometimes, we make an honest mistake. And so I feel for those people, absolutely. But then that the other concern that I had stated with this is the prevalence of the advertising and the creation of new markets. That's why you have advertising. And when you go by and see all those signs and in gas stations, on vape shops and things like that, advertising it as if it was a safe, regulated product, like, an herbal supplement, like something somebody might take us from GNC or something like that, or as if it was regulated.
You used to be able to buy it there,
or alcohol. When indeed there's no regulation, there's not even an age limit currently on it, and so for those reasons, I still think there is public health value in not allowing the sale of this, which would also not allow the marketing of this in our community, because if you can't sell it, you wouldn't have any reason to market for it. So I would still be supporting this, but I think your comments are well taken, and should there be some sort of regulation at the state that supersedes us, I think that, and have it actually be more regulated, I would be changing my mind on this. So.
Well, if the state regulates it, then I'll be all for it. But until then, I don't want this regulated. I don't want this approved.
But they're still like, watch what this other dude said. Like,
I mean, gee,
these people are like so good because they keep on, like, somebody comes in and answers, and asks questions about everything he just said. Well, why can't, it's just, it's cool to see. They're all just playing off, and they're not being like rude. They're not being disrespectful.
Yeah, they're all being very
really
respectful with this
It's
one.
really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and no religion. No religion's
I know.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Louisiana down in the south versus Iowa down in the north.
Yeah.
Where I'm at in Texas, I'm in the big city, so we don't get that as much. But in the little towns, and there's a gazillion of them down here. Oh, yeah, that's huge. That's a big thing. So, no, when I see the Louisiana stuff, it reminds me of small town Texas. So, it's just how it is down here, sadly. But it's refreshing to see Iowa City like not throwing that into the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor. Let me make sure I throw it out there.
I prayed for a month.
The second you get called on as a city council member, or I'm a pastor, it's like, okay, but you're a city council member. That should come first when you're doing this job.
Yeah. And we're not, being down on any of that and people that are religious. It's just, this is government. This just, these things should not be incorporated into government the way, it is in some parts of the country. It's crazy. All right, let's get back to the video.
I guess I'll just address the final two counselors who haven't said, and the mayor who haven't said yet how they'll vote. But I think we all know there's no shame in learning more and changing our position on something. And
like that,
it is hard to imagine something as compelling as from the speakers who we've had the last two meetings, as far as the benefits of a substance that we are not equipped to regulate. I have heard, and I very much appreciate that there are remaining concerns, but I think the issue really is, what is the city of Iowa City's purview in enforcement relating to the sale of this sort of unknown, as far as we are concerned, substance? And I'll just make the fiscal argument. How are we going to pay for the enforcement? Who is going to be making the checks in the vape shops and the convenience stores? And what are those individuals going to be looking for? What are they going to be doing? And how, I just don't understand the additional
Whoever does the
creating an
enforcement
additional
for
regulatory
tobacco.
environment for something that is at best
But
uncertain.
isn't that more at a state or federal level?
This dude one of the guys brings up that, like, why can't they do it
Because
when
that's
they
not
go
like a city
tobacco?
thing. That's not. Yeah, I mean, tobacco. That's a federal thing.
But I mean, you could still throw it in there. You know, the tobacco dude got to go and make sure that everything's running correctly to go kill thousands of people a year.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
So
but I
why
don't
not?
think that's a city person. I don't think that's somebody in city government like where they are that does stuff like that.
Well,
That's
I know at that
like a
Lowell,
state.
Massachusetts hearing that we
Yeah.
watched, it was that tobacco dude that brought the ban bill, you know.
And he was local government?
Yeah,
Not
he was
like
the city council.
Yeah, well,
I
he's the
believe.
one that said I could control it, or I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still wind up banning it anyway.
Yeah.
Now they're writing, I just saw their draft letter the other day.
Yeah.
Now they're writing their state delegation to ban it statewide in Massachusetts.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that we can hear from those who have both clinical and direct experience in the context of the larger world and country, where we know that there have been legislative opportunities for regulation that could come from those who are more equipped than we are. And I hope that in what will be the worst budget year in certainly our history, that we don't just sign up for, something that is really, truly unnecessary and what I believe is a significant overreach in our authority.
I'd like to speak to a couple of comments that have been made that I think are a little bit concerning. The first,
I gotta go take my Kratom. My back's killing me, and I'm at my 6-hour
Cheers.
walk. Thank you. I'll just be a minute. I already made it up, so it's ready to go. So I'm just gonna let this run. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
first one is that I don't really understand why we'd have to wait for the state. So if Councilor Moe or Councilor Harmson if you could elucidate why we would have to wait for the state, or why we think we should.
For regulations.
For regulations.
So I think actually this would actually be what Councilor Burgess was just talking about, to a factor of degrees and expense. And we'd have to hire new people. We'd be talking about testing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just, I don't even know how that would you begin to go about.
So why wouldn't, if we're doing streamlined age checks, under my theoretical proposal that we, streamline things with our tobacco legislation, why would it not happen at the same time as we're doing checks for tobacco age sales?
Yeah.
Why would it not happen at the exact same moment? Why wouldn't we do that? Because that seems like a very efficient use of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
I think at the April 24th and May 7th meetings, we talked about the way that the state pays us to do those checks. And because they're regulated differently, that's not an option for us. We have to pay the underage person to go attempt to purchase. And also the actual sort of, I don't want to call it sting operation, but the effort to sort of do the age check was something that in those meetings we determined wasn't feasible without state supports. And I think
That's
that the
so
testing for
stupid.
purity was something which is to me one thing that I find very concerning is when I did Kratom trading with Community Family Resources. It was offered in April or September, where we learned about these adulterated forms and this synthetic forms. It's incredibly difficult to test them, and so we need a federal or state capacities to actually test these.
Do we currently test tobacco products?
Well, tobacco is different because we're testing, or we're looking to see if someone is taking a highly regulated product, tobacco, which we know exactly is in it. We know it's bad for you, but we tell people it's bad for you and let people make their choices. But we know it's in it,
How
and we
many
know
more
that it's
people
tightly
die from
regulated.
tobacco,
And
though?
all we're checking for is to see that they're not selling it to children. And so nobody has to pull cigarettes apart at the city level and check that and see if it has fentanyl laced in it.
But if the whole argument is about public health, a lot more people die from tobacco than die from kratom.
But it is regulated. I think
It is
that's the
regulated.
point
So
of it.
there's an acceptable amount of regulated death. is
It's
what we're
regulated to
saying.
kill.
That's a federal question that's out of our hands.
I mean, but it is a question that we're considering here, is it not?
No, we're not talking about tobacco.
I know we're not talking about tobacco, but we're talking about regulating a substance because of its harm on public health, as tobacco is regulated. It's harm on public health. That's why it's regulated. So I guess the other thing that was concerning to me is that, we're kind of appealing to we're falling into a fallacy of appeal to authority here when we're talking about Susan Vileta. And I'm not trying to bash her whatsoever, but I want everyone to understand what her role at Johnson County Public Health is and what her education is. Susan is a public health educator that's focused on tobacco cessation and all that jazz. She has a bachelor's degree in secondary education focusing on English, speech, theater, and comms. And when we first talked with her about this issue, she didn't know anything about it. What level of education do you have?
Dude, I love this shit.
I only have two authorities in this room with any sort of medical experience and that have only ever come and talked to us about this. I don't think the person who didn't know what we were talking about at the first moment of this conversation is more qualified to talk about the public health impacts and the people that are working with this every day and are fully properly educated.
Yeah,
So
my
that
boy
really resonates
done.
well with me. Susan is
Yep.
great, not bashing her character or her work or anything like that. But when we're talking about trusting our public health officials, she's not an MD. She's not trained in that way. And these guys are.
You do know that we're also looking at stuff like from the FDA
Yes.
and from Mayo Clinic. You understand that, right?
Mayo Clinic. What about Mayo Clinic? Do you
I
think
hate
got
that
lots of opinions
lady.
about Mayo Clinic, but like
She just doesn't even know what's going on. She
Yeah.
follows everybody
There
else.
was
No.
a pretty
No.
large training opportunity for all of us to participate in where local addiction specialists talked about this. That's when I made my decision that this stuff
Sounds like
we
tall
need state
cop.
regulation was
Yeah.
during that when public health experts who offered that training to our council presented, and I believe it was City Attorney Goers and I did participate in that. So I appreciate the people who've come today and heard what they had to say, but there's also a lot of just because they're last at the table doesn't mean that they're the most important to me. So there's a lot of people that weigh into this decision for me, and so.
Yeah, I think it's like, I just don't like
Oh,
the
no.
way that you really represent the, like talked about Susan. She's she
I
really
don't like the way you talked about
researches her
Susan.
work, whether she, I don't know why we're looking at her background. She being hired at the county because she's qualified. We brought her here for many times for many things because we trust her opinions. And not only that, we also receive some information from Mayo Clinic, from FDA, from all sorts. And we are not only listening to her, but we're listening to many, many other opinions that we have received. Anyway, I really don't want to discuss this more. At this point, I'm going to just stuck with my vote, and I will vote.
I think
for
she's
the
friends
ban.
with Susan.
Yeah. Oh, she's that. But I mean, she's not even
This is
looking at
a
anything. She's just there.
very hard conversation to have because at the end of the day, it's
I love this
it's the
dude.
person that is using this
It
product
just grew on me, man.
that will have to figure out
He's
how
grown on
to-
me too.
You can tell
Mayor-
he cares. Like he really does care.
Yeah.
Mayor Teague is too legit to quit.
What I
Yeah,
would say
he
is if the ban goes into effect, what we have is neighboring communities where folks can get it. I do hear the challenge from equity, transportation, that type stuff is a challenge. I'll mention that we have free transit here, although I just mentioned that, and that's not to be disrespectful to someone's life is being affected by if this ban goes into effect. One of the hopes that I have is the state will take this on with all of their resources and the robust public health campaign that is needed, for Kratom. There are some legitimate, very legitimate points that my colleagues to my left have absolutely made. I can tell you that I agree with almost all of it, without doubt. And then, certainly, on my right, my colleagues have made some comments as well, and they've made a position to ban it for what I would say is some real reasons that I believe is in the public's best interest. Now, with all that being said, I am sitting here and I'm thinking, how do we ensure that this is a part of the legislative priorities in the state of Iowa, right? Because if that is our ultimate goal, how do we make that happen? Certainly, we can add that to our legislative priorities. We'll probably have that discussion in December, or no, we will already make that prior to that, because then, we finalize that in December to go before the, our legislators in Des Moines. This is just yes, I hear, and I appreciate you all coming. Everybody that's here in person, and even to the ones that have reached out outside of this meeting, I appreciate the conversations there. this is a hard position to be in, but I think what I would,
I love how he's like thinking and
Yeah.
talking at the same
Yeah.
time. Like
I
he's
wonder
serious.
if there is, and I know this is something that I cringe on when this happens a lot. I would just say when it happens a lot. It happens, and for good reasons do it happen. I wonder if there's any consideration that we would give to legislative priorities being a part of our December things that we do. And then this is the part that I think people have to think about for a second. Is there any, would we give consideration to deferring this? And the reason, I will say that a ban, there are real rationale and health concerns for a ban, without a doubt. I heard from people here that talked about, we need legal, well-regulated drug supply, this drug, or maybe I'm misquoting, but there's something about Kratom that just ain't right. And I think Counselor Dunn, your beginning words, I absolutely agree with some of that mistrust and just an awkward feeling about a lot of things surrounding this. I do wonder if people would, and I don't know, it is hard. So, because I can support a band, and my rationale for supporting a band would be this presents it will definitely be in the face of our legislators in Des Moines. And I would hope that it would cause them to have a real conversation of how, and act in action, not just conversations, but activity to address all of the things and the concerns that even people that support regulating it will happen. So I don't know. I guess I'll bring it to. I'll just say I'll ask a question and just see what people's thoughts are if we were just to defer this. And most people want a date, and I would just say defer it indefinitely for now. I just wanted to get a reaction.
Support that.
Yeah.
I would defer.
I have no desire to
I know,
defer, but
I know, I think
but
I've spoken to a
if
few
I'm-
of you about this
if
idea.
I'm in the minority,
In that I feel like we should do something. There are people who use this who are at huge risk of getting something that's not what they think it is. This is a real risk in our community, and that it's something that's far more potent than they think, or it has something else in it. And so we need to do something. And if that means temporarily shifting towards working on the state, then I would support that.
You mean like deferring it, but actively work about it?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good to me.
And I also want to say, and please, I don't know if my colleagues up here absolutely love everybody in this community, and whether the or left or right is kind of interesting today.
It was a day
words
before
that
the
have been
election.
spoken
Right.
has nothing to do against the person, the users. We acknowledge that this has been helpful because we heard those words coming from people. But we also know that there is something here that needs to be regulated, and there needs to be a lot of education after it's regulated.
I would actually I do want to say, regardless of what happens, one thing that I find it, that Susan Valletta did say that I meant to bring up earlier, I find it was just the absolute centrality and importance of outreach so that people know what other things are available in terms of, she says, important to couple it with outreach about evidence-based treatment and support available in Johnson County. And so I just wanted to make that mention.
Yes.
But I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what kind of traction the city of Iowa City is going to get with the state in terms of regulating Kratom. They're also, they want to reduce more property taxes.
If there's a ban, we then we know potentially.
Yeah, they could come back and be like, no, which is fine. But I don't
agree with us.
But no, they would do it to switch. But I don't put a lot of traction in that. But if it defers it so that people can still have access to it, I'm fine with that. But I recognize bans can be reversed as well. But based on there are unknowns, as well as knowns. I'm absolutely to my counselors who, you know, I am hearing your perspectives, and there is something there. And yet I'm like, oh, this is not COVID. We knew we had to have masking, and that was something that had to be an intervention at a health, on a public safety level, right? I do not think that this rises to that level. I think it's preemptive. I think it's overreach. I've already said that a million times, so my apologies. But I wanted to say I respect what you are saying.
For sure.
But I think until we know more, we should not ban. So if
I like her
deferral
so
is the way
much.
that
Yeah.
most
Me
that we
too.
could get to
Me
a
too.
majority of being comfortable with this, I'm all in favor of it. And we can
And the
actively
mayor,
work
like,
towards it.
listen, you
We
know,
have a
he's
lot
Yes.
listening to everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and then,
I
you
think I'm
know,
arguing against myself.
no, no,
I
no, no,
apologize.
no, yeah.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Are you
Yeah,
making that motion then, Mayor?
I can't believe we're having this conversation. I agree with that, and I also agree that this is overreach. But I would back up and say that if we, you know, if there is something that we, you know, believe needs critical attention and the harm that it could have is detrimental, then I don't mind overreaching.
I just don't think that it has risen to a level where this necessitates us
100%.
intervening. It was not on anybody's radar.
I understand that. Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say perhaps it should be, to the extent of what our potential reaction is.
And look how the guy in the black shirt that brought this whole thing, even though he's changed his tune, he looks like he's sulking in his chair. I can't tell for sure because it's not close up. But is, you know, she's making such great points here. I mean, it's not an issue in their community. They
I
didn't
think
know
he's
about
kind
it.
of just mad that they took, like, not really mad, but I think he's just frustrated because he's trying to say, hey, listen, you know, I've changed my mind. Listen, this
Yeah.
is for good reasons. These are my good reasons. And then you
Right.
also have two other people trying to also, you know, and, you know,
Yeah.
you have these other people that just refuse to
Right.
budge.
Right.
You
He's
know?
like,
Right.
to me, he's like, this is all my fault. I
Oh,
rushed
that's
to
how he
Yeah,
judgment.
yeah.
That's how he looks
Yeah.
sitting next to her, because I mean,
Uh-huh.
if they were to vote on this and vote to ban, that it does
Like
come
the
off
mayor
as like
said, it
major
affects
overreach.
lives.
It
You know,
affects
it
lives. It's
affects lives.
overreach. It's not like, I agree with the mayor. It's not overreach when there is a clear and present danger happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He made great points with
Right.
that, and he makes great points too. This is not a problem in their community. It was brought up by one council member who has now regretted bringing it up now that he's researched it. He's young. Maybe he's realizing, like, okay, you know what? Next time I come up with something, I better thoroughly research it first.
Yeah.
I mean, is this his first term? I mean, he comes
I
off
don't
like
know.
he's new to this.
But I
So
love that he reversed course
yes,
Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
did his research.
right. Which I wish more people on city councils would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
What we're witnessing right here is, like I said, this is what Ouachita should have done. They should have
yes,
Yeah.
deferred their bill until Louisiana legislator revisited it. That's
Mhm.
what they should have done.
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're almost done with this. There's only 2 minutes left. So it looks like they're about to vote. So let's go ahead. Because y'all, we've been here we're doing a marathon today,
hours.
3 hours and 7 minutes.
Mhm.
Wow. Thanks
I know.
We do
everybody
know
for
that this
sticking
is happening across
for
the
watching
nation.
with us.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate people have been here like all
Yeah.
afternoon with us. We're almost
And
done.
it's not just
No, but
Iowa
I think
City that is
I think that
regulated and considering bans
no,
on this.
absolutely.
And because of Kratom, that I just took 10 minutes ago, my back is finally feeling better. I love how fast Kratom works. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
I've been suffering in my chair for a little while, and it was still hurting after I drank it, but I'm like, oh,
Oh no, you
I'm
took the
feeling
Kratom
better
hit.
now. I'm feeling better now. My back's not hurting as much. All right, we're almost done with this.
On this one item.
True.
I mean, so, and there's not other, if we're talking about bans, this is probably the only thing in our entire nation that I can think of in this moment that is being considered.
That's not true.
I just also want to remind us that we don't have a recommendation from staff on this. And to me, that is very influential. But I think this came to us from Councilor Dunn and his interest and, you know, our willingness to go along with that. And he's learned more and changed his position on it. But this is not something where we have those who work for us on behalf of the city saying, yes, this is something you need to do, or even no, it's not, right? Like they're just staying out of it. It's a political decision at this point, which suggests to me that, yeah, I'm in favor of deferral, much like Councilor Alter, if that means we're not going to implement the ban tonight.
So I guess I would just request that one of my colleagues make that motion
I
and
will
second.
move for deferral.
He was quick to do that. The guy in the
Moved by
black
Mo,
shirt.
seconded by
Yeah.
Arthur.
I will. I vote to
Indefinitely?
defer.
Indefinitely.
Yay!
Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Mo?
I vote yes to deferral.
Right. Sala?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Harmson?
No.
Motion passes 6-1.
Woohoo!
Yay, that's how it should be done.
Yay!
I was so excited when I saw that.
Wow, they've come a long way.
Because the Ouachita Parish finished before this Iowa City finished, you know, so
Yeah.
I was able to take my one cockeye and go straight.
I
to
like
Iowa.
I had to stop right in the middle or like towards the end of the mayor's, and so I didn't know. But then when Misty and I'm like, hell yeah! Like I was so happy because I mean it's just This is how city council is supposed to work. Like I would be more than happy to trust even the people that were for the ban. They still sat there and. I would be proud to be in Iowa City and be like, those are my council members.
Same.
Yeah.
Me
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true government there. They
Yeah.
have an open mind. They're doing the research. They're not rushing to judgment. Whereas in Louisiana and Illinois, they rush to judgment. Boom, we're done.
Yep.
Unless the state does something, we're not changing our mind.
But like I'm saying, like at the Ouachita Parish, where they were talking about how legislation left it up to the parishes to ban when they see fit.
Yeah.
What those council members should have done was deferred it and be like, fuck you, I'm waiting for you to make the decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Unless they had an agenda that they needed to get it done before January.
I kind of feel that way because you know what? I feel like because it's coming from the Louisiana Medical Society and the Sheriff's Association in Louisiana. So I feel like once it goes back into legislation, I feel like I said, the same with Illinois. I feel like because they're banning from the bottom up, and once it gets to legislator, then those district reps can be like, well, it's already banned in our city.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
why do we even need a KCPA?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a strategic move, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's how politics is. It's always some type of game or strategy or,
Yep.
all the time.
Because our anti-Kratom child attorney couldn't even get Representative Rick Townsend to ban it in Georgia. In Georgia, it's a KCPA protected state.
Yeah.
So I felt like they all got their minds together, let's figure out what we could do next. What's our next move? So
Right.
they're going to
Yeah.
ban from the bottom up.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And that's how they're going to take advantage of the council members because there is no threat with Kratom. They don't even know what it is. It's brought to their table.
Yeah.
Then they Google it. Then
They
see the
Google it.
bullshit ass Mayo Clinic crap.
And they buy into the
Yeah.
propaganda
And
and
each of them were
misinformation.
talking to each other about all the negative stuff, and they just getting just an uproar, like it's some type of crazy shit they need to take care of right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So y'all, a really disturbing comment came on my Facebook while we were watching that video that I wanted to share with y'all. So on the comments in the podcast episode that came out yesterday. So Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show, he's been in here before. I
I've
think.
seen that dude
I've
on
seen him.
Twitter.
He
I believe.
comments. So because he was the one, didn't he make a video a while back and we played it on here? I don't think his channel on YouTube normally does Kratom, but
I've seen his video. I know. Yeah.
he had some Kratom videos. I know we watched one. So anyway, here's what he commented just a little while, 30 minutes ago. Facebook just suspended my account because I had a page that promoted Kratom. They gave me no warning at all. Sounds like just like Jordan. New Hope.
Yeah.
I have Kratom Stories Podcast. Facebook is there, but it's probably going to get deleted.
I think I just saw on
I think
one
they're
of
all
my
getting
dudes
deleted.
on my Facebook timeline, Philip. I think he just said, yep, well, TikTok banned my main account and I don't know why. I'm done with TikTok.
It's terrible.
I know that he's had a few videos talking about Kratom over there too.
Yeah, Kratom and cannabis.
These platforms are just, it's ridiculous. And they can do
I'm
whatever
telling
they
you guys
want.
right now, if you are an admin in a Facebook group private that shit. Make it to where it's not searchable, because our opposition group knows that they could search up a Kratom group and they can hit report right from there without even being a member in that group. So private.
Yeah, I see in my notifications there's an admin for one of the groups had the word Kratom in it. They just changed the name of it to take it out.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people changing the names to make sure.
Which
You
is
might need to
smart.
do that too, Madeline.
Tea Leaf Podcast, like I have, I mean, that's
Yeah.
technically the username on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Is Tea. It's just
And
ridiculous.
YouTube,
It's
Venus, you might need to
ridiculous.
Yeah,
take
that's what I was
Kratom out of your
thinking.
name.
Yeah.
I
Tea
just
leaf
wish we
butterfly.
didn't have to do that. It's just so stupid.
It's so stupid.
But look, this is just a reminder for everyone watching this. There are other places we can go where there's no censorship. On X, we don't have the censorship, but there's also the Kratom Real Talk community that I started. Let me bring it up. I'll show y'all. I started Kratom Real Talk almost a year ago, and there is no censorship because I control it, which is awesome. So there are ways to do things, and it's just finding your workarounds. And my workaround is I pay a monthly fee, but then I can provide a nice, safe, free place for us to have discussions about Kratom. And so it looks like a forum. It's like a Facebook group, and then we just have all these chats going on. And what's really cool is that I have like a whole, in the classroom section, I have all this stuff, so much information in there to help people. Let me show y'all for people that are new to Kratom. I've got like a whole section. Look, there's me and Misty. When Misty had done the first podcast with me last year, I have this one YouTube clip of our interview where it's like she shares all these tips of like for people new to Kratom. So I called it 4 tips in 44 seconds. That was one of the first JPEGs that Jennifer made for me when she was first doing this. I love it. But I've got like so much information. So when people are new to Kratom and they find all this, they say this is so helpful to them. And I just keep adding a bunch of stuff just to make things really helpful. I have a whole Q&A where I just have like all these links to my TikTok videos with all these different topics, although I worry that my TikTok is going to go away again. And what I like about this platform that I can't do on any of the other social media is like, this is a 5-minute video of me walking step by step how I make my swamp water Kratom tea. If I put that on TikTok, they'll delete my account. I have another one that is 7 minutes long of me walking you through step by step how to take blight papes, how to use blight papes. I just feel so strongly that we should be able to have a place where we can post all this info. Another thing I just added recently, people will like ask me like questions that I can make a little video to them. And I actually just posted all the videos in here. These are videos that like I sent to people privately. They're generic. So, nobody knows like who these people are, but it's just me answering questions. But this is something I can't post on social media, but I can post it here. And this is like where I go into detail how I started with Kratom, how I went from pain management and transition from the pain meds to Kratom. It's just things that I can't, if I get on social media and share this kind of information, I'd get in a lot of trouble. So it's nice to be able to have a place where we take back the control. And, because Kratom, we can't always freely talk about it. We can here.
Right.
We seem to be able to here. I mean, we're still here, so apparently we can get away with it on our YouTube and Facebook Lives. At least for now, it could change. So just know there's always KratomRealTalk.com. It's free. Sign up, because if we're losing all these Facebook accounts, and look, YouTube can too. We could be losing our YouTubes. It happened to Joey Talks.
Right.
So he had 30,000 subscribers. He got on there and talked about Kratom all the time. And then they just one day deleted his account. So Misty Jenny wants you to invite her to your group. She says she'll send you.
You got to follow. You got to come be my friend on Facebook.
She says she'll
Brown.
send you a DM on TikTok.
No, you got Misty Brown on Facebook. You have to know me. Yeah, because my shit's private. So I have to privately invite you on Facebook.
But we need more people in the community to, help us have more private places where we don't have to worry about getting in trouble. Because what I'm concerned about, if Facebook keeps deleting accounts, we know YouTube has done it in the past. We know TikTok loves to do it. I'm surprised my TikTok's still there, but it's not going to deter me. I'm still going to make TikTok videos, and I'll set up another account if I have to. But I worry about people that it goes away and they don't know what to do, and now they can't get info. Because look, when I started Kratom in early 2019, there was a Facebook group that helped me a lot. And then all of a sudden, Facebook did one of their crackdowns and the Facebook group was gone. And I was still very new, and I was getting a lot of my information from the posts people were doing in this group. And I was terrified when it went away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like my lifeline. What do I do? So I was really nervous for a while. Eventually, they restarted a new one. It took forever for them to rebuild. I mean, they had like tens of thousands of people in this original one. And I know it happened to multiple groups back then. So it seems like it goes in waves, right? It goes up and down.
Yeah.
They do it and they stop for a few years and they do it again.
It's also like when I lost my 2 TikTok accounts, the haters that report my shit don't realize that I be in the process of helping people in my comment section or in my TikTok messages that are just starting their journey.
Yeah.
And when I lost those accounts, it freaked out a couple of people as well. They were like, oh my God, I couldn't find you anywhere. It's like they happened to accidentally find me again on the FYP.
Happened to me too. I had some people when I lost my account last December, my first TikTok, some people, it took them, because I don't remember, I had 1,700 followers. I couldn't remember who everybody was. Some people found me 6 months later, like, oh my God, where have you been? I'm like, TikTok took down my account.
Yeah.
And Hunker Down's asking about X. Yes, X is good. You don't have to worry about censorship.
Yeah.
We don't get as much of the engagement on there like we get on, people are on TikTok looking for information and Facebook. TikTok, if I had to name the top 2, it is those. It's great that we can do this on X, but people are just not on there the same as they are on the other platforms. So it's still a good place to be. We're on there every Thursday afternoon. We do Kratom Real Talk as a audio chat in Spaces. We've been doing it for over a year. So it's every Thursday afternoon at 3:00 Eastern. Also, when you're in the Kratom Real Talk community, let me bring it back up again. I have a whole calendar section in there, and this is really helpful for people in our community because let me show y'all real quick. So I have, because the navigation here is at the top, so you can see community, classroom. This is the calendar. So look, I have all the stuff in here of what we do week by week, month by month. So like today is Saturday. We're right now doing the Kratom Gals. And our next thing is on Tuesday. If you don't know, and we totally forgot to announce, Tuesday, we're doing a Kratom Gals movie night. We're going to do a watch party. It's a documentary called Dawn Harapan. It's Leaf of Hope. We're going to have special guest Christopher Dini from Christopher's Organic Botanicals. This is a 1-hour documentary of the farmers in Indonesia. And these are the farmers that Christopher works directly with. So he's going to come on and chat with us. We're going to watch the documentary and hang out and talk. So, and what's great about how I have this set up at Kratom Real Talk is that I've got the link. So you can click to the YouTube that we already have set up. You can also add this to your calendar. You can click on this and look, you got a choice: Google Calendar, Apple, Outlook, Yahoo. So you can go ahead and add it to your calendar so you'll always be informed.
That's so cool how you have that set up.
I love this thing. So every Thursday and this is showing my time zone. I'm in Central Time. So Kratom Real Talk on Twitter, X, called X now. And I've got all of these in place. So this is our normal schedule: is Thursday on Twitter, X now. Friday is we do our TikTok live. And then on Saturdays we do this. And you can always get your reminders by just, utilizing this calendar. So, yep. So anything else? I mean, gosh, y'all, we've been here for 3 hours and 23 minutes. No surprise.
Wow.
No surprise.
It's dark here. You took me from daylight to dark.
Yeah, because of daylight savings.
Yeah.
It's always a great time hanging. My back feels so much better now. Thank you, Kratom. Because of Kratom, I can sit here for 3 hours and 23 minutes and do this.
Yep.
If I was still in pain management with my opioids, I wouldn't be able to sit here this long like this.
I would have been nodded off already.
I would just be suffering. My back would be, I'd be in a lot of pain.
Y'all would have to constantly be waking me up because I'd be like this.
Oh man.
I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping.
Then I go like this. What? Why are you yelling at me? And then I go off again.
Well, always a great time hanging out with y'all.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody got to come. I'm glad that we got to watch two sides of the coin today.
Yeah, that was great. We watched a lot of stuff today. We got to watch our very first Kratom Gals from last December and watch all those different clips of us, not knowing what
Misty's
we were doing.
expose too.
Misty's expose.
Yeah.
Yes.
If anybody got here late, as soon as we're done in a minute, you can go watch the replay wherever you're watching. You got to see Misty's expose because that was really good. And also, FYI, for anybody that like miss parts of this, you want to go back and watch the replay later. Later on in my YouTube, I will put all the timestamps in, so that way you're like, oh, I was here for this part, but I want to see the expose. I'll have it timestamped, so you can just click and it'll take you right to it. We're all about making everything easy for y'all.
Yeah.
Look at this. I've cooked dinner, taken a shower, and done some laundry during this live. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Whose comment is that? Whose comment is that?
It's Kelly. Gals.
Gals.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, Angela says she's hearing of this happening more on Facebook. I am really concerned about Facebook, y'all. This is just not good.
Kathy, we played that video last Kratom Gals, but it should be on the timestamps. When we did the video, she did the drums for with Wade.
Oh, from last week.
Yeah, it was last week. It should be on the little timestamps.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've done my laundry. I love it. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We still got people here live. I love it. I appreciate y'all being here. Oh wait, there's more. Change my sheets too.
Holy shit! I did that yesterday. Because of Kratom, because that is not an easy task.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I want to thank Misty for always staying on top of everything and being such an incredible investigative reporter with her expose and keeping us updated with these different city council meetings and stuff. So thank you for always keeping all of this.
There's
organized.
a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. A lot.
Jenny's been here since the very beginning.
I know.
Jenny was commenting before we went live. We can see the comments before we're live when we first get in StreamYard. And Jenny was already in there commenting. I'm like, so Jenny's been here the whole time.
Oh,
and I know Venus's mom, I'm a Pip. She's been here the whole time. Who else has been here the whole time? I know there's several of y'all that have been here fixing to cook because of Kratom.
I'm fixing to go cook too. Get Kratom.
Yeah.
Brain and Pain Health. Just sent you a voicemail. This is my first.
DJ?
I don't know what that is. Also kept my chickens in the yard. Is that Amanda? Amanda has chickens. Amanda.
It's crazy,
huh?
Chronic pain warrior.
Like I have both of my sister-in-laws. I'm sorry, y'all, but chickens freak me the fuck out.
Oh, I love chickens. I love them.
I couldn't imagine them things running around out in the yard. I don't know. I feel like they
Amanda,
at my ankles or something.
Amanda from Chronic Pain Warrior for You on TikTok. She's doing X now, and she's always posting her chickens. Angela, have them go. So back to the Kratom Real Talk. Y'all can send people, tell them to go to kratomrealtalk.com, and it's like joining a Facebook group. They got to put in their email, and I have a couple of questions for them to answer. Then I manually approve each person because, I'm trying to keep it spam free. Don't want any spammers. Trying to make sure, I run a tight ship. Once they join,
USS Madeline.
I do. Once they're in, look, we have not had issues. I am very proud of myself. We're almost a year. We're 11 months in Kratom Real Talk.
Oh yeah.
that I
No
get
issues.
to have the rules and control. I love it.
Mhm.
And like we've not had any in the very beginning, a couple of spammers, but it was a whole because it's the school platform. It was on
Right.
them, and they listened and they fixed it. But Angela, have them sign up. Once they're approved, they can go to the classroom section where I have so much information in there for people that are new. So just send them there. Braden Health says, first time here, just found you. So glad you found us. I need help. I have a question. So let us know real quick because we've been here for 3.5 hours. We're winding down. Somebody said they've been here 75%. Do you know who
That's
that is?
Kelly.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
We
then
lo-
Sherry said she has 14 hens and a rooster. That's a lot of eggs.
Oh, it's Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's just this says Facebook user, so we can't really tell who's who. Wow, 14 hens and a rooster.
I love eggs though. I eat eggs all day. I
Mm.
can make anything with eggs.
I used to have a little roux that would fly in this little hole in the screen of my door, and he would fly in, and he would sleep on my chest. He was a house rooster, yeah, and a house hen.
And also, y'all don't forget we have merch. We're wearing our Kratom Gals shirts. Look,
Oh yeah.
we all have our Kratom Gals. We got Kratom Gals shirts and we got Kratom Pals shirts. So,
I mean, all kratom is technically anti-inflammatory. It has anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't, and I can't take anti-inflammatory. Now, if you're talking about like ibuprofen, like stuff that thins your blood, I'm pretty sure kratom doesn't do anything like that. Like ibuprofen and Advil, you know what I'm saying? Like they tell you, or aspirin.
Yeah.
But I can't speak from, I know that there's been people that have had injections and things like that that consume kratom and haven't had any issues.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
personally have not.
we're not medical professionals. I
Yeah.
don't know if Dr. Heidi's still here. I don't think she is because I haven't seen her in the comments in a while. I mean, maybe she could help answer.
Yeah, and it probably depends on.
But here's the
Kratom
thing.
Real Talk. Come on over
I was just
there.
going to say, I was just
Yeah.
going to tell this person, join Kratom Real Talk, go to kratomrealtalk.com, come get into my community. Dr. Heidi's in there. We got so many
There's
people
a
in there.
ton of questions like
And
that.
whenever
that-
somebody asks anything that's more medical, I always tag her, and she's always great about chiming in because, you know, being that she's a medical professional, I leave some of that stuff up to her to
Yeah. I would
discuss.
come on over there, and then you'll be able to find a
Plus,
whole
you
lot.
can go into more details because it's hard, you know, like you
Yeah.
can only put so much in the comments here to
Yeah.
inform us. But yeah, by the way, so we do this every Saturday. What you're seeing here now, we've been here a long time. We always do at least 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes 3.5, like today. We had a lot to watch, so we watch videos and talk about it. All different types of kratom related videos, good, bad, and ugly. And we watched a lot today. We got a lot of great conversations. So, was it an abdominal procedure brain?
I think she's
Abdominal-
talking to the person
Yeah.
asking about the
Yeah.
procedure.
Yeah. Boiled eggs covered in ranch and
I'd
my
eat it.
jam. Whoa, that sounds good. You're making us all hungry. Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here. And gals, thank you for doing this with me. It's always a great time hanging out.
Thank you all. Thanks everybody
Thank-
for coming. Always have fun with the
Yeah.
Kratom Gals.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 out.
Yep. Let's do it. Do you want me to, are we just like done, or should I play a song at the end? We've been here a long time. We can just end.
Yeah.
And we've already played a couple of songs.
Yeah, we done that.
We
Yeah.
played the bathroom break song twice, 2 different ones. We've done
We've
a
been
lot.
jamming out today, man.
Oh, hold on. They threw in one more comment. Injections need to have an inflammation process to build scar tissue. If I need to stop, I don't have time to taper off. Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
I would go to Kratom Real Talk, and we can talk a lot more about it back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I mean, I can tell you right now that I don't miss getting injections done.
I don't miss it
Yeah, I
either.
don't either,
When I
no.
was in pain management, all those epidural steroid injections, I had
Whew.
so many of those. Yeah. I mean, have you talked to your doctor about this? The problem is most doctors don't even know what kratom is, which, gets a
Yeah.
bit frustrating. But that's where somebody like Dr. Heidi comes in
Plus,
handy
there's a
'cause
lot of stuff that are, is inflammation wise. I mean, not just kratom. If you're taking any type, there's a lot of information like,
yeah, you gotta just do research, try to find people that have been through it.
and I know there's got to be a couple people on Kratom Real Talk.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, it also just kind of like social media is whoever's going to be active, and not everybody's
Yeah.
active like they used to be. Like people come and go. So, yeah, okay. They said they just went there and found it. This is a different type, better than epidural, like a stem cell. Oh, I'm hoping in the long run. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna sign off. So y'all come join us Tuesday evening for our movie night because that's gonna be a lot of fun. Otherwise, we'll be back right here next Saturday. So y'all have an awesome rest of your day, rest of your weekend. And we're gonna do our Kratom Gals Out.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
do-
y'all for chilling with us today.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Are you ready, Venus?
I'm ready.
I
I'm
love that.
ready.
I love that you haven't been lagging for weeks. It's been
Yeah.
good.
I know.
All right, Misty.
1, 2, 3.
Kratom
Kratom
Gals
Gals Out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. See you soon.